Round one, fight!
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Tournament Fights. This is episode number 88, and tonight we are finally down to it. We're down to our best movie franchises of all time, and it always seems like we have a whole bunch of these series going at once because we do. We have certain ones running concurrently. We did part 1 and part 2, if anyone remembers, back in August. So if you haven't seen those two, then go check those out. But and then the Sweet 16 from each of those tournaments made it here tonight for our championship episode. So I will be your host tonight, Jordan the Movie Hero Anderson, and I was mentioning to my other panelists off camera that I do have a little bit of a strategy but I can't give it away to anyone. So maybe see if you can pinpoint it possibly. If you don't, I'll tell you what I did at the end of the episode. But because I kind of feel like I have to, or else I don't know. It's not going to work out the way I would want it to work out. So, but anyways, with that, I'll introduce my panel for tonight. We have my co-host, Mr. Austin Pez Howell. How's it going?
What's up, sir? It's time for another championship episode. And yeah, considering every entry in the franchise will be a little tough, but I think I can do them pretty quickly. So, I think, mine's more just going to be about a gut feeling about each one. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, it'll be pretty interesting because, you may tend to want to vote more too. Maybe if you like really, really love one movie specifically in a franchise, you love it that much, you want to vote for it. But then also you do have to factor in some other movies, and some franchises have some great movies and then some bad movies or like a mix.
So the good, the bad, and the ugly, as we like to say.
Yep, exactly. But we also have joining us Moose Haas. How's it going,
listen, gentlemen? This is easy. It's the MCU. Good night, everybody.
Yeah.
I got some
class it up with a martini tonight.
Nice.
And of course, I brought my
Gotta have the whiteboard, and yeah, we had a big discussion before we even started this whole thing about what to do with the MCU. I wanted to break it, like split it up, kind of, but everyone else said no, you got to leave it all as one. So I'm like, all right. We even voted on like a little poll, and everyone said leave it. So I'm like, all right, they voted against me. So
it was like a 2-hour discussion between me, Jordan, and Malcolm.
I feel like when you lump them all together, not to get into it like very much, but when you lump them all together, they kind of becomes a powerhouse as compared to other franchises. That's just was my thing, bro. But
does it though? Because it's got some low points. I'm just saying.
Yeah, true.
There's some other franchises that don't have low points. I'm just saying.
We'll see. We'll see. But we also have joining us, Mr. Richie Gooacre. How's it going, Richie?
What's up? I'm gonna be honest. Every time Moose Haas is on the stream, I have Ramstein in my head and go Moose Haas.
Moose Haas. I love it.
Nice. But also, last but certainly not least, we have cousin Ryan. How's it going?
Come on, everybody. So we're done, right? You've got the two biggest Marvel nerds on here, and you're really gonna have us choose? Like, come on.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Come on. It's gonna be me and Moose and Pez Zero because we're gonna probably agree on all of those.
We got to see what makes the 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
We need
that.
Yeah.
Okay. Star Wars or MCU, then Star Wars. Good night, everybody.
But what if they're on the same side of the bracket?
Good night, everybody. It's the MCU.
And also, Star Wars has 7, 8, 9 Solo. Some of those movies to consider, So it's kinda, you got to think about all of them. So, but yeah. But you want to explain how it's going to work, Austin, and I'll bring up the bracket.
So it's been a month or two, whatever it was, but we already did part 1 and part 2. We had 128 going in. We are down to the final 32. We took the Sweet 16 from part 1, the Sweet 16 from part 2, and they're all in a smaller half bracket of 32, so it'll be a little quicker tonight. We can still take our, whatever time to, vote on these, obviously, in the initial run. But we took all the 32, we mixed them all up, randomized them, and we're going to see, obviously, which one comes out on top. For anybody just tuning in, on the other ones, we did determine they needed at least a few theatrical releases. So, pretty much had to be mostly theatrical. There obviously might be a few in here that have later sequels that didn't, but mostly are. So,
are you saying Air Bud didn't make it?
No, Airbud didn't make it.
Don't,
we had to
man.
We had to make some tough cuts. It is what it is.
No Airbud and no Beethoven on this. Sorry, Richie.
Yeah.
No,
all those buddy movies.
I'm with Richie. We're out of here. No Airbud.
Yeah.
We don't do the show.
Yeah, that's right.
Santa Paws, all that.
Yeah, Santa Paws. Yeah, no Santa Paws. Sorry, but yeah, I think we've got a good list here. I was looking back over it today, and it's going to be a good one. There's going to be some tough matches here. I think, especially from these kind of mid-level franchises. So we'll see what happens here. But as always, we'll start at the bottom with Cousin Ryan. You'll be up first when we reveal our first match, and we'll rotate the vote order every time. We have 5 as of right now. I think Chris will be here later. If we have 6 and then we have ties, I'll explain the tiebreaker procedures. But for now, we've got 5. So, and you can vote for whatever reason you like. But remember, it is a tournament about franchises. You got to consider the entire franchise, not just I mean, obviously there might be some that have higher highs and lower lows, but you're considering the franchise as a whole. So. All right, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and we have a couple early predictions coming in here. Malcolm wanted everyone to remember about The Godfather is going to be in here. So
it's in there somewhere. Yeah.
Yep. And then also, Brian was saying, what if it's Bond versus MCU?
Could
which are
be.
the 2
Bond's in there.
biggest franchises with the most entries.
With the most movies, correct.
Yeah.
But they are in there.
So, but yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll reveal the first matchup, and we'll see what we got. We got Alien in here versus Back to the Future. I tried to have some graphics that like try to represent the whole
but if you see one where it's just like the original poster, it means the whole franchise. So yeah. But I know Jordan, when we did these previous ones, was trying to pull like box set pictures, things like that. Something a little different. So yeah, but basically the Alien franchise versus the Back to the Future franchise. Cousin Ryan, you got
Great Scott. I picked Back to the Future. I don't even know how I can expand on that. It's just amazing. So
yeah,
quick and easy.
Sounds good. Richie, what do you think?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, if we're doing franchises, I personally prefer Alien. However, like, if you look at the consistency, like Alien and Aliens are phenomenal, and I like Prometheus, but but then like Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection sort of drags down a peg. And then there's Covenant, which was not great. So I just think more consistently, the more consistent one's Back to the Future. So I'm going to go Back to the Future.
Yep. Moose?
I think Richie absolutely kind of took the words that I was going to use right there. There's a couple of the Alien movies that are just stellar movies, and then there's a bunch of stinkers. Whereas Back to the Future is almost a perfect trilogy. So yeah, I got to go Back to the Future. Come on.
Yeah. Well, Austin?
This would be a lot closer for me if Alien Covenant didn't exist. That's like my least favorite of all the movies. I think it's like one of the most unnecessary movies ever made. Because I'm a big defender of Alien 3. I like Alien Resurrection for how kind of wacky it is. So like up until that point, I think it's a pretty good franchise for me personally. But there's a few things that drag it down. And as everybody said, Back to the Future is pretty consistent. I could watch either one at any time, be very much entertained, and they're all on a good filmmaking level. So I guess I'll vote against my favorite movie of all time individually, and I'll vote the Back to the Future trilogy. Yeah,
I think I figured out what's really making my screen laggy sometimes because usually I don't have connection issues, but it's my video editing software. I just closed out of it, and it's taken like 5 minutes to exit it out itself. So, so if I'm a little laggy for now, I apologize. That should be cleared up in a minute. But I think that you guys said it right. That Back to the Future for me, it's a near perfect trilogy. Like I defend the third one. Actually, number 2 is my favorite of the whole trilogy. And Alien, like I don't know if there's an Alien movie that I flat out don't like, but there's some low lows and some high highs. Especially those first 2 are the high highs, and then from there it kind of gets a little wonky. So yeah, I got to go Back to the Future.
All right, Back to the Future. It's clean sweep.
Yeah.
All right.
Clean sweep. All right.
Yep,
And up
sure
next we have
is.
the Blade trilogy that made it in here, going up against
It's Child's Play, which made it. Yeah.
All right. So it'll be Richie first. So what do
This
you
is
got?
tough. This is tough. Blade and Blade 2 are great. I have fun with Blade Trinity, but Wesley Snipes clearly didn't care. He was almost it was around the time he was about to go to jail for tax evasion. There are moments here that are good, like you get to see like Triple H being a wrestling fan, he's all right, and then the sort of like Ryan Reynolds playing a sort of quasi Deadpool kind of thing. But I think overall, I have there are some movies in the Child's Play franchise that aren't great, but I have fun with most of them. I love like something like Bride of Chucky. The only one I really don't like that much is Seed of Chucky. But yeah, so I'll go Child's Play.
Yeah. Sounds good. Moose?
I feel like I've only seen 2 of the Child's Play movies, the first and the second. And then beyond that, I was like, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
kind of like the Blade franchise, where I saw the first 2 movies, and then after that, it was like, who gives a shit? There is some fun to be had in Blade Trinity, but yeah, it's just so many of the like, even the guy, what was it? Was it Dominic West who played Dracula?
Dominic Purcell.
Yeah, thank you. Again, he and Wesley were just getting high and like stumbling onto set and falling asleep like through their roles. Like it was such a like boring performance from both of those guys. So I mean, just out of sheer like geekdom and for the fact that I haven't seen probably the 17 following Child's Play movies, I'll go with the Blade franchise.
Yeah. Austin, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, kind of similar points. Blade 1 and 2 are great. Trinity is still watchable, but it's not on the same level. But I'm kind of like Richie. The only one I actively dislike out of Child's Play is Seed of Chucky. But to be fair, that's 1 out of 7 films. That's a pretty good track record. I like all the other movies, and some of them I really, really like the original one and Bride of Chucky. I think is a ton of fun. It's the same guy, Ronnie Yu, who did Freddy vs. Jason. It's a ton of fun. I think I'm going to go Child's Play. It's the ones I've watched more and I have a little more affinity for personally. So I'm going to go Child's Play.
And there's a big shocker in the chat room. Jacob Barber hasn't seen any of the movies from any of these franchises.
Yeah.
That color me shocked. But yeah. But yeah, and also we have Malcolm chiming in to know he wanted to be on this episode, but he had to go to work, so he's doing what he can to kind of chime in when he can. So, But yeah, I think for me, I've seen Blade 1 and I've seen Blade 3, but for whatever reason, I haven't seen Blade 2 because I caught Blade Trinity on TV originally when I first saw it, and then I went back to watch Blade it, and I've been meaning to get to Blade 2. I just haven't gotten to it yet. And Child's Play, yeah, it's also been sporadic. These are 2 kind of sporadic ones. Like I've seen the original, I've seen like Bride of Chucky. I saw the new one that came out with Aubrey Plaza, which also still counts. And yeah, like I don't know. I'm just not like huge on any kind of vampire movies. You really have to blow me away with a vampire movie to really get me hooked. So I think I got to go Child's Play.
All right.
So
because Ryan.
Yeah.
So Blade Trinity is actually probably my favorite movie. I love that movie so much, mainly because of Ryan Reynolds. You guys who know me, who watch this, my mission with Ryan Reynolds, that's one thing. But Child's Play has a special place in my heart. I remember watching it as a kid growing up. But I will admit, Chucky's Bride is my favorite of that entire franchise. But even though I love that whole franchise, and I'm going to continue loving that franchise, the Blade franchise for me was fantastic. It gave us something new. It gave us I look at something new, and Wesley Snipes crushed it. And hey, they gave me Dracula in the third movie. I was happy with that. So
Yeah.
trilogy for me.
All
What are the
right.
votes at?
It's going to be 3-2 for Child's Play.
All right, for Child's Play.
Yeah.
All right, but because Ryan, have you seen Spirited yet? Speaking of Ryan Reynolds, have you seen it yet?
Just popped up on our channel, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
Will Ferrell
really
and Ryan.
Oh,
Oh, that
Reynolds.
one? Yeah, no, I'll probably watch it this weekend then.
Yeah, like I've heard a lot of people are actually been kind of surprised. They're going with low expectations. I've heard a couple people that were surprised how much they liked it. So we'll see. But up next, we got the Dark Knight trilogy going up against Die
Hard.
Ooh,
Okay.
not as easy match as you would think. So
Yeah. And Moose, you're up first on this one.
Actually, yeah, this is a lot easier than you think it is. The Dark Knight trilogy is awesome. Don't get me wrong, Die Hard 1, Die Hard 2, Die Hard 3, cherished. I could sit down and watch those at any point in time. And then there's more. And, and then it just keeps going downhill from there. And then it's John McClane in Russia with Jai Courtney. Super weird. But yeah, this one's easy. It's the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah. Well, Austin?
This is not as easy as you would think for me, because I like 4 out of the 5 Die Hard movies. I like up to Live Free or Die Hard. I think it's a really underrated, pretty good like entry in the series. So, but again, if
you like the Die Hard where John McClane's fights computers?
Yes, John McClane versus technology. It's Okay Boomer, the movie.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's a good little test. He's just like, why the hell doesn't this shit work? It's John McClane. I can dig it. I think the movie's a lot of fun. But yeah, so literally, if I did it by percentage, though, Die Hard is 80% for me, but the Dark Knight trilogy is 100%. And they're 3 for 3, and I like all 3 of them pretty equally. So yeah, I'll go Dark Knight.
At some point tonight, there better be a Bane.
Yeah.
Oh God, no!
You gotta break it up. Yeah.
We'll see.
Oh yeah, I forgot to ask Austin. How hungover were you after last night?
Jesus Christ, I was hungover most of the day today, but I'm good now. We did another channel. I did a Thanksgiving drink along. It's a really bad killer turkey movie, and we had a drinking game with like a whole bunch of criteria, and we pounded about 5 beers in the first 30 minutes, and it was not good. It was rough. So yeah. And the movie's only 67 minutes, so we were destroyed after 67 minutes. It was bad. Not good. Anyways.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this was a little hard for me too, because I also like Live Free or Die Hard. I think it's fun. Like I like Justin Long in it, being the kind of like side guy that's kind of like the techie guy that helping old man McClane out, and yeah, like I think that it's fun seeing him like just kind of like he knows how to fight, but when it comes to technology, like he doesn't really know like what he's doing essentially, and like it doesn't hold a candle to the first 3, but still, I don't think it's bad by any means. But it's kind of hard because like you could go by percentage when you judge it, like Austin did, or I mean, you can think, well, this movie just has more movies that are potential to be good or bad. So it's it just depends how you want to do it. But yeah, I think still I got to go with the Dark Knight. I think that the first 2 are incredible, and the second one's like a 9 out of 10. Still, it's still great. So yeah, I'll go the Dark Knight.
All right,
Cousin Ryan.
Hot mic take, but for me, it's gonna be the Die Hard collection. I like all the movies, and the fact that Justin Long and Kevin Smith were in that movie made me love it even more. So I progressively thought those movies they were good. The whole series itself, the Die Hard collection, was amazing. For me, the Dark Knight trilogy, that third movie, I just can't bring myself to watch it. And
What?
It hurt. I know. I knew that was coming. It's hands down one of my least favorite movies in that. Obviously in that trilogy, but in the DC world. So for me, it's gonna be Die Hard.
You'll
Yeah.
vote, and then I will kill you.
Not my Bane. Not my Bane.
Yeah.
Oh, you like Batman and Robin's Bane? Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Exactly.
okay.
Yeah.
got
No,
it.
exactly. Yeah. That's my Bane.
Pete
Oh,
Swinson fan, huh?
Bomb,
Yeah.
bomb, bomb.
bomb.
Well, Richie, what do you think?
Yeah, yeah. If it wasn't for A Good Day to Die Hard, then I'd probably go the Die Hard collection because I do like the fourth one as well. Like the third one, I like all of them except for that one. The fifth one sort of was able to accomplish something I didn't think was possible, and they made a Die Hard movie boring. So yeah, just like I was just thinking, wow, I shouldn't be bored right now, but yeah. I'm glad they're sort of off the train and might try to make Jai Courtney a thing. You know, he's decent as like a supporting person, but yeah, like don't, yeah, I don't know. He was in that sort of Sam Worthington kind of era where like, no, this is your star, but no, not really.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and the Dark Knight trilogy is great. I don't think there's any flaws with it. So I'll go Dark Knight trilogy.
All right.
Yeah.
4-1 for Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy.
The Dark Knight. Moving on. All right.
All right. Mm-hmm.
We got the Easter 177 or The Unbreakable. All those movies going up against Godzilla and Kong. So the four from that era essentially.
Well, it's the current MonsterVerse essentially.
Yeah,
the current MonsterVerse franchise, basically from Godzilla 2014 to now.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. I went first. Oh, this is tough. I got to go first. Damn. This is tough because I'm a big Godzilla fan, like a big Godzilla fan. Although if I had to name my favorite Godzilla movies, I don't think any of them would be these. They'd be a lot of the Japanese ones from the 90s and 2000s for me personally. Although I love Kong Skull Island. Kong Skull Island is my jam. I think that movie's just kicks ass. I think that movie's the shit. It's great. For me, the more consistent one is the East Rail trilogy. I like all those movies a lot. I'm a big defender of Glass. I think that movie's really a misunderstood kind of masterpiece. I think it's pretty great. And I think Unbreakable and Split are both really good. So just because this may be sacrilege as the Godzilla fan, but I think Godzilla vs. Kong was okay. I think Godzilla King of the Monsters was okay. I think Godzilla 2014 is okay. And it's like, but I like all those other movies a lot. So I'm going to go with the East Rail.
Yeah. I think for me I'm just not a huge fan of the Godzilla and Kong like kind of MonsterVerse, but I am with you though with the what was the one, Austin, the Godzilla that you really like? The reason I'm
Kong Skull Island?
Yeah.
Kong Skull Island kicks.
Sorry.
That movie's great.
I'm having like a random brain fart. I couldn't even think of that. But yeah, Kong Skull Island's great. Like it has some great kills. Like it has some kind of like homages and kind of like spirit like Apocalypse Now in certain points. Like it has a great cast, so I think that it's a lot of fun. The other ones I don't really like at all. like I mean, I do think that that Godzilla King of the Monsters has some really amazing visuals, like especially the first trailer, the Claire de Lune trailer is like one of the greatest trailers. I'll rewatch that thing all the time. And they look like Mothra and Ghidorah look really cool, but yeah, and overall, like I don't know what they're doing with any of the human characters. I'm kind of like, it makes no sense. But the East Rail trilogy, I mean, I absolutely love Unbreakable and Split. Glass, I do like, but I don't like it as much. I think it kind of drops a little for me, but I still think it's good. So I'll vote for the East Rail 177. So, Cousin Ryan?
I agree of that list for the Godzilla Kong Skull Island was the best out of all of those, hands down. Unbreakable, Split, and Glass, talk about a trilogy that was like completely undervalued by a lot of people, and it still is. It's so great. It's amazing. Split, hands down, one of the best movies I've ever seen. But so for me, that trilogy is going to beat out Godzilla and Kong.
Yeah, and for me, I like that. It surprised me when they connected Split to Unbreakable, and then they decided to just make it a full-on trilogy. I'm like, okay, all right, like I kind of dig that, yeah. So, Richie, what do you think?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go the same way here. I'm not been a huge fan of the recent Godzilla movies. I really didn't like 2014. I was just like, if you're going to focus on the human characters, as instead for Godzilla, make the human characters interesting. I found it to be boring as shit. I was and I got a phone call during the movie, and she's like, "Oh, sorry," like the person on there was like, "Oh, sorry to disturb you." I'm like, "No, you're actually doing me a favor." I was seriously.
Yeah.
Like I like Kong Skull Island the best as well. Godzilla vs Kong's okay. I thought maybe it'd be, but given the hype, I thought it'd be better than it is. They're making Godzilla vs Kong 2 here in Brisbane, so we'll see how that goes.
Nice.
With the wholly interesting title of Godzilla and Kong. How interesting!
Wow.
Why don't they just call it Godzilla vs Kong 2?
Because they're going to be team buddies in this one.
Oh.
Okay.
Weird.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, my
Sounds kind of
anticipation,
stupid.
which wasn't high to begin with, is at a low note.
I'm much more looking forward to. There's going to be a new Toho Godzilla movie in 2023. I'm much more looking forward to that because Toho's been way more consistent with quality.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Godzilla rules. So yeah.
I'll go East Rail because I think Unbreakable's great. I think James McAvoy's so good in Split. I think he was robbed. Even for Oscar. I thought he was for sure going to get Oscar consideration. Didn't even but no, I think it was one of the better performances I've seen in a long time. And Glass is underrated. So I'll go East Rail.
Yeah. Well, Moose, what do you think?
I'm still waiting for Godzilla vs. Kong 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Mm-hmm.
But until that comes out, I will agree with all of you guys that Kong
More interesting than what they're doing.
Yeah, rocks. John C. Reilly in that movie is just the best. I still want like a just John C. Reilly movie of him on the island, like his time there. That would just be awesome. Like expand that mythos a little bit better because honestly, that. Like to your point, Pez, the first movie was fine. Second one, King of the Monsters, fine. They're entertaining, big monster movies.
I think they're all visually really well done. Like you can watch the movie on mute and just like watch the visuals. They're pretty great. Like I think King of the Monsters is a beautiful film. It's just like the actual like half of that movie is people standing in a circle spouting exposition, and it's really awkward and not good.
The East Rail trilogy is fine. It's just fine. Unbreakable is okay. The only redeeming quality of Split is McAvoy's performance, and then the twist at the end. Like that's it. Everything else is so predictable in Split. And Glass, I'm sorry, it did not do it for me. The whole like being your weakness is water. Like Shyamalan's got this thing for water, right? I mean, look at the signs. Yeah. So, it's fine. Both of these for me are just okay. I'll go with the rest of the group and vote for the Split trilogy here, but it's not by much.
Okay.
Yeah.
I probably won't vote.
Well, it's going up against the powerhouse in the next round, so you don't have to. So I think it'll be fine. We'll see.
Yeah, Shyamalan really has the thing for water because, like, with Signs, and then you also have Lady in the Water. It's like
Old is on the beach, and the ending of that movie is like all about them going through this water thing. Yeah, it's all water. Yeah, we'll see.
But we have the Halloween franchise. Going up against Harold and Kumar, so these are representing the entire franchise and stuff.
All right, Jordan, you're up first.
Me first. This one's kind of tough because I need to see more Halloween movies. I've seen the original. I've seen the most recent 3, and then we watched Halloween 6 or something. We watched.
I made you watch Halloween 6.
Yeah, and it's actually like it wasn't bad. Like I actually kind of dug it, and I've seen Halloween 3: Season of the Witch, so I've seen like a fair amount, but not all of them. And Harold and Kumar, I adore the first one, and then the second one I really like. I won't say I love it, but and the third one's not really that great. I mean, it's all right. I'm not gonna say it's the most terrible movie I've ever seen, but it's not that great. But I think just because the character of Michael Myers, it's just so great. Almost no matter what iteration that he's in, like he's always a great character, and yeah, I just like the whole world that they build throughout these different iterations. So and the first one is probably one of the greatest, if not the greatest, Halloween movie of all time, or horror movie of all time. So yeah, I'll go with Halloween. Ryan.
I'm just gonna go ahead and cast my vote for Harold and Kumar and move on. We don't need to talk about why. We just assume that we all know why and move along.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, why not? Richie?
No, let's talk about it longer.
Yeah.
Cal Penn and John Cho are so goddamn amazing. No, let's just go ahead. Let's just
I'll expand on it. I'll expand on it because that's what I'm going to vote for. Yeah, and my logic is okay. Halloween 1, great. Halloween 2, great. Halloween 3, underrated. Halloween 4, it's good. Halloween 5, boring. Halloween 6, guilty pleasure, not good though. Rob Zombie's Halloween, also guilty pleasure. I don't mind it, but I can understand people don't like it. Halloween 2, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, piece of shit. And then the new trilogy, Halloween 2018, pretty good. Halloween Kills, not a fan. Halloween Ends, hated. So, and Harold and Kumar, I like all three movies. So Harold and Kumar.
Yeah, sure. Well, we'll say I won't get into it too much on here because it's a discussion for another time. I just barely watched the new Halloween Ends, and I actually loved it. So we can talk about it more maybe after. But I thought that it was amazing. So yeah, it's so good because it plays more like an indie film almost. But
all right, MC, good night, everybody.
Yeah. Before it's great.
You know what I like? A Halloween movie without Michael Myers. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's really good.
Nice. Yeah.
Well, Halloween 3. I mean, come on. But
it's not supposed to be one. Oh my God, stop!
But
What you marketed?
What do you think?
Anyways,
I'm gonna go with the Halloween franchise.
Yeah.
I like the first Harold and Kumar. The other ones just get too wacky, zany. I'm not a pothead, so some of the humor is like throwing a frisbee in the dark to nobody.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I mean, there's redeeming stuff in the Halloween franchise. 1 and 2 are great, and I actually enjoyed the first of this new trilogy. The second and third were terrible. But yeah, I've come in the last year to appreciate the Halloween franchise, so I'm gonna give that some love.
Yeah. Well, Austin?
Yeah, Harold and Kumar, I absolutely adore the first one in my top 100. Love it. I think it's one of the best kind of One Crazy Night movies out there. And yeah, I like the other two. I think they're pretty solid. I will watch them, but I don't think they reached the highs of the first one. But overall, Halloween is probably and has been and will be for a while my favorite horror franchise overall, even though there are movies like, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, which I do not like. That's the only one I outright despise. Like there's like 2 or 3 other ones I'm not a big fan of, but like the highs for the Halloween franchise, I think for me are a little higher, and you kind of know what you're getting with most of them. It's kind of like Friday the 13th, like you're going to get something decent for the most part. So it's still my favorite horror franchise. So I got to go Halloween.
I forgot to mention Halloween H2O. Okay, Halloween Resurrection, not great. So,
yeah.
But Halloween Resurrection is a drunk watch. I can have fun with it.
Yeah. Well, it'll be Halloween, right? Is that
Halloween? Yeah, 3 to 2. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Halloween. We have How to Train Your Dragon going up against James Bond. Yeah, right. And who's first now?
Ryan.
Ryan. Okay.
It's going to be 007 for me. I just love James Bond, the aspect of it. And I wasn't a huge fan of the How to Train Your Dragon movies. I just couldn't get into them. I tried. So 007.
Yeah. Richie?
Yeah, this might be where you run into the thing of like 007's been around for like over 50 years, so it's like it's got an advantage there. However, but like all 3 Dragons movies are really good. I think it's one of DreamWorks' better films. But I don't know. I think the movies that I really love in 007 I just a bit above How to Train Your Dragon. So I'll go James Bond.
Yeah. Moose, what do you think?
I absolutely adore the How You Train Your Dragon movies. I think there's so much heart in them. I think the story hits, the humor hits. Bond, I don't know. I've never been a big James Bond fan. I think he's a misogynistic prick. So I'm not a huge fan. I mean, of the most recent ones with Daniel Craig, he's had 3. I liked 3 of them. I like the most recent one with him. I've had this discussion a couple of times on a few different shows about the Bond franchise, and it just has never hit with me. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the How to Train Your Dragon franchise.
Sure, yeah. Austin?
Yeah, I didn't like if you had asked me 15, 20 years ago about Bond, like I wouldn't have been a big fan, but I actually sat down, went through the series, watched it, and while it's got its lower points, I think the highest of the highs are still pretty great, and it's a pretty consistent franchise for what you're looking for, like when you go to watch them, and I think most of them are pretty fun, and just I don't think you can discount the impact that it's had, just on movies. Like it's one of the most consistent and coolest franchises. So I've become a much bigger Bond fan in my adulthood than I used to be. And yeah, the How to Train Your Dragon movies are good. They're solid and consistent. But I'm not super enthusiastic about them. I don't go to watch them like a lot. So I'll go Bond.
Yeah, well, I'm fairly new to the How to Train Your Dragon movies. I only saw the first 2 a few months back. I still haven't seen the third one. I just haven't had time to watch it yet. But like they were fine. Like I thought that they were fun. A lot of people that say, "Oh, Toothless reminds me of my dog or my cat or whatever." I'm also like not a big pet person. I enjoy going to visit other people's pets and like playing with them, but then keep the animals out of my house, like type of thing. But I think they deserve. They deserve to be in the wild more, but yeah. But I do like animals. But it just doesn't relate to me as much. But Bond, I'm a huge James Bond fan. Even though I still haven't seen all of them, there's a lot to watch. But I've seen the first 2. Then I've seen the Timothy Dalton ones from the 80s and the Pierce Brosnan and the Daniel Craig one, and I like most of those. There's a couple Pierce Brosnans and maybe one Daniel Craig that I didn't really like so much, but probably my favorites have to be Skyfall and then GoldenEye too, because that video game came at the perfect time for me when I was in high school and stuff. And I played a lot of that, or actually even in middle school. So yeah, I'm a big James Bond fan. I want to go back and watch all of them, and I eventually will. But yeah, for now, I'll still vote for James Bond.
Okay, Bond goes through. Yeah,
a couple of things for James Bond. I people always say like, people are saying, Tom Hardy should be James Bond or Tom Hiddleston. They're too famous. There should be someone on the kind of
slightly unknown.
Yeah,
there should be a breakout role. It should be a breakout role. And also, I found it the other day. I don't know how long ago this was, but back in the day, Sam Neill screen tested for the role. I think he would have been fine.
Okay. Oh, that'd be kind of interesting. Yeah.
I take it. I love me some Sam Neill.
Yeah. Yeah, but up next we got Jurassic Park.
Speaking of Sam Neill.
Yeah. Speaking of Sam Neill, going against the Lord of the Rings. So.
Middle Earth. Middle Earth, yes.
Yeah. Middle Earth, because you got to include the Hobbit in the movies.
Yes. All right. So first is Richie this time.
All right. So is it counting all of the Jurassic Park, including World and stuff like that?
Yeah. Everything up till Dominion. Yeah, it's out. It's there.
All right. Well, this is tough. Like I like the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I'm not a huge fan of the Hobbit. They're fine. But yeah, like. I like Jurassic Park. I like Lost World. Jurassic Park 3 is okay. Didn't dislike it as much as other people. Jurassic World is all right. Jurassic Fallen Kingdom not that great. And Dominion haven't got around to yet. But Jordan set high expectations for that apparently. But
yeah, I
It's
really
okay.
like it.
Let me temper those expectations for you, Richie.
yeah.
We'll see it in 40x. That's a fun time. That's what I did.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, I don't know. I'll go. My logic is ones that I'll go back to, and just because I find them more engaging, I'll go Jurassic Park collection.
yeah.
My Twitch team's here to back me up. I love it.
Oh,
Gas
nice.
station.
That's awesome.
There he is.
Yeah. Well, Moose.
Whew, okay. I think that the Lord of the Rings trilogy is one of the best trilogies ever. It's up there with Back to the Future for me. The Hobbit trilogy, there is redeeming qualities in the first one, and it just progressively gets worse from there. It's tough because the original Jurassic Park, I think, is probably my second favorite movie of all time. It's so amazing, and I think just for that sheer fact, I'm going to edge it out over the Lord of the Rings. I mean, I liked Lost World maybe a little bit better than most. I mean, Jurassic Park 3, dumb popcorn dinosaurs running on screen sounds like fun. Jurassic World, I dug. I hated Fallen Kingdom. And Dominion, there's redeeming qualities, and maybe it's just nostalgia getting to see the old gang with the new gang. The bug thing in Dominion was just terrible plot point. But because of the significance of Jurassic Park for me, I'm going to vote for that. That's going to edge it out. Plus, I also think like the Jurassic Park movies, like I can't just sit back and turn off my brain and watch the Hobbit movies because I'm just like, but any of the Jurassic Parks at any point in time, I get to shut off my brain and be like, oh, dinosaurs. So I'm going to put through the Jurassic Park franchise.
Yeah. Austin?
Yeah, I haven't made, I'm just, I fully acknowledge again that the Lord of the Rings trilogy is really good. I'm just not like, it's not a movies I go back to. I'm not like a Lord of the Rings geek. I'm just not. I can't like get super invested in that world. I'll watch it for the visuals. I'll watch it for some of the action stuff. There's good things there. I've been a much bigger fan of the Jurassic movies for way longer. Seen the first three many times, and I love Jurassic World. Fallen Kingdom I revisited. I like the first hour of that movie. I think the first hour is all right. It goes off the rails in the second half, like for sure. But I think the first hour is some good stuff, and Dominion was something. It's a movie. But I mean, I've just lived in the Jurassic stuff. I think way more just since I was a kid, and it's like the first movie that ever gave me nightmares was the original one, and I've just watched it so many times, and it's just I've just lived with it for a long time. So I have to go with my heart and go Jurassic Park.
I think it'd be tough if we were only considering certain movies from the franchise, but we got to consider them all as a whole. Yeah, for Lord of the Rings, like I'm with Moose. Like it's up there with Back to the Future as like a near perfect trilogy. It's just so good, and then you get to the Hobbit movies, and the first one's okay. I do not like the second and the third one. I think they're bad. They're or like maybe boring. Like boring for
all the pieces are there where it should be good. There's good visuals, there's good actors. It's like it just CGI. It just feels like it's stretched out for no reason and just meanders, and it's just like it should have just been the one movie or the two movies. Like that.
Yeah. Well, I think the only reason they split it up to three is because Guillermo del Toro was meant to direct those Hobbit movies. And he pulled out, and so we'll just make sure. Yeah.
And also, I don't know how to keep those dwarfs apart. Dwarly, Dwalin, whatever. I'm like, okay, just roll my eyes. I'm like, whatever. I don't care.
You'd like me to name you all 13 dwarves?
Yeah.
All right. Sir, all right, Geekdom, Mr. Geekdom, go.
You have Thorin Oakenshield, Dory, Ori, Nori, Oin and Gloin, Biffer, Bofer, Bumber, Feely, and Keely.
Okay.
And then, of course, to wrap it up, you have Gandalf, and then you have...
Which franchise has stupider names, Star Wars or Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, right.
No, Lord of the Rings. Well, Lord of the Rings, fine. Hobbit, awful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dory, Ori, Nori, Oin, and Glowing. Like, come on, get the.
Yeah, it's like really like I remember like two of those Hobbits and anything they did in those movies. So,
Yeah.
but Jurassic Park though, like I'm a big defender of almost every single one. I don't really like Fallen Kingdom. Like I will say, like I probably like the first 30 minutes. Like after that, it just kind of goes off the rails, and I just don't care. It's like Jurassic Park in a giant mansion kind of thing. I'm just like, okay, whatever. But and for Dominion, there's a good movie in there somewhere, but I do hate all that stuff with the Locust. I think that's stupid. I think they have a really cheesy and dumb villain, but like take away those, there's a good movie in there somewhere. I mean,
What are you talking about? 20 or
You
128
put
favorite movies at a time.
you put
Yeah,
on
right.
128.
Well, yeah, but I'm just having some fun for that, you know. But
I'm sorry, you'll never live that down, Jordan. I'm going to bring that up every time the franchise comes up.
yeah. But yeah. So it's tough, but I think overall I got to give it to Jurassic Park. Yeah. Right.
Nope. For me, it's going to be the entire Middle Earth saga. I love that entire thing. Jurassic Park, the first one, hands down, probably my top 10. Haas knows this. I love that movie. Dominion was nostalgia because all I did was stare at Dr. Grant the entire time. Ooh, Sam Neill. And just follow him on screen. It was my favorite part of that entire movie. All the other movies in between were Middle Earth saga, I can put it on and just watch them all the way through. I can't do that Jurassic Park. So for me, even though it doesn't matter, it's gonna be the Middle Earth ones.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Well, yeah.
It's 4-1 for Jurassic. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Disappointing for some people, but
yeah, right. But
all right.
But we're moving on to the Maze Runner trilogy, going up against the MCU. That's what that represents. So,
just move on this one. Yeah. Just move it along.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Maze Runner. Like me and Austin do kind of defend the Maze Runner trilogy.
Hey,
but
Maze Runner is 100%. MCU ain't 100%. Just saying.
False. The first one's 100%. The other ones, I don't know what the fuck they were.
Agreed. Right.
I think the Maze Runner is the best YA franchise out there. Period.
I think
it's great.
I think there's a discussion here. Let's go.
Sure. All right.
Okay.
Well, if you want to, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Start with Moose.
Oh, come on.
Yep. Sorry.
Come on, really? Yeah. It's the MCU. Okay, best YA franchise out there. Okay, I mean that's like the greatest pile of shit. Like you're choosing the best of honestly, like the MCU. Come on, it is the most it is the most profitable franchise of all time for a reason, right? It is the most successful franchise of all time. What are we at? I lost count. We're at 30 movies at this point in time.
Something like that, yeah.
There's still a continuation of a story.
Is there?
There's no other franchise.
I'll talk about it, but
Yeah.
is there?
Yeah.
There? I dare you to tell me what the connective thread in the last 7 movies is, please.
Okay, we said that. Listen, we didn't know the first connective thread besides setting up the Avengers until the end of the Avengers movie, right? Then all of a sudden we saw Thanos. We go, okay, there's Infinity Stones involved in this, right? So, okay, we're doing the Infinity Saga. They took 22 movies to get to the end of that saga. But even if you just judge the MCU by those 22 movies right there, the Infinity Saga, right? Phase 1, 2, and 3, every movie told individual stories that were still connected to a mass story. Your Bond franchise, right? Yeah, maybe has the most movies with the same character, but the stories are not linked. You've got a couple in there that might be linked, but then every couple of years they switch to a different Bond, and that storyline for that previous Bond is done. If at some point in time they announced that Bond was a title or a rank and not necessarily a name of the individual who's holding the 00 position, then I would say, okay, that's awesome, because then everything flows together. MI6 has always had a Bond. But the clear choice here is the MCU against the Maze Runner.
Yeah. No. Well, all right, Austin then.
I'm just saying, this current phase of the MCU has been absolute dog water. Fucking terrible. I haven't liked a single goddamn one of these movies.
Oh, come on. Shang-Chi was awesome.
Shang-Chi was boring.
You're boring.
Boring. Love and Thunder is terrible. Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness was disappointing. Whatever else. Fucking Eternals, dog shit. One of the worst movies I've ever seen. Fucking horrible. Look, I'm just saying, if you had asked me around the end of the Infinity Saga, yeah. But man, has this last like 7 or 8 movies or whatever absolutely shit the bed. And it's really soured me on this master plan of Kevin Feige, including these TV shows, which are absolute dog shit too and boring. And have no purpose right now. All I'm saying is that the Maze Runner, start to finish, knows what it is, consistent, has a good finale, 100% start to finish.
God, these movies are so fucking stupid. I can't even believe you're voting.
100%.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my last appearance on your show. But I'll see you guys in Drunk Trivia.
Well, like I actually do love the Maze Runner movies, and like had it gone up against some other trilogy, then yeah, I would vote for it because I think that they're all great, but yeah, we're going up against the MCU here, and the MCU is freaking amazing. Like it's my whole childhood growing up reading all these comics. They're seeing them brought to life, and just knowing that we're just going to keep getting these movies forever. They're just going to keep coming, and I will agree though that the last few movies, like 5 or 6, have been a little wonky and kind of like not as strong as some of the last ones, especially Eternals. Woof. Oh, I don't know what they were doing with Eternals. That was just like dog shit for me. but and then I won't get into everyone, but just for a couple of these more recent ones, like Shang-Chi is fine. I don't know. Like I didn't really like jump for joy or anything. I thought that Doctor Strange, they could have done it a little better. However, I am a big defender of Thor: Love and Thunder. I have a whole review on the channel where I get into why I love it, and I think everyone's like pretty crazy for the most part. Like I do understand that it has way too much humor, and they kind of treat the gods with kind of disrespect. I kind of feel like, but yeah. So it's a little interesting, but there's just so many movies here, and that's why I had why I wanted to break them up in individual franchises, but I got outvoted there because I feel like there's some of these that are amazing and some of these not so much. So it's just hard to judge that many movies, the good from the bad. But we're going up against the Maze Runner. Like maybe it'll hold up, or maybe the MCU won't hold up as much against a few other franchises on this list. But yeah, it's gonna slaughter the Maze Runner here. So yeah, in the MCU. So, but Ryan,
MCU. But I'm gonna say right now, MCU Infinity Saga set the bar so high that of course everything else after it, people are going to compare it. And it's gonna be really hard to beat that. They set it really insanely high. Maze Runner crushed my soul after that first movie. I might be a little biased because I was a big fan of the books. And I just feel like they wasted a lot of characters. They wasted a lot of time moving on to the second, third movie. So MCU for me.
Yeah. Sounds good. Richie, what do you think?
Well, I mean, I'm fighting a losing battle here, but yeah, like I haven't been a huge fan of the more recent installments of MCU. And yeah, I feel like I like all 3 Maze Runner movies. So if I'll get another vote, Maze Runner. There you go. It's going through. Avengers. I mean, Marvel. MCU is going through, but yeah, Maze Runner.
Yeah. But it'll be the MCU moving on. So yeah. And it'll be the end of that side. So we'll see what we got on the side. Let's see. We got the Mighty Ducks hanging in there for like a good family franchise. And then going up against A Nightmare on Elm Street for a not family franchise. Yeah. So, Austin, you're first. So.
Yeah. Nightmare, probably my second favorite horror franchise. I like, again, most of the movies. I think they're all pretty good except for Freddy's Dead, and the remake. The remake has its moments. I just don't think there's anything in the Mighty Ducks that's as high as the high points for me of Nightmare as the original and Dream Warriors are, like, I think, two of the best horror movies ever made, period. I do recognize the consistency of the Mighty Ducks. It's pretty consistent, but I'm going to go with the one I'm a little more passionate about, and I'll say Nightmare.
Yeah. For me, like, I grew up on these family movies. Like, you put me in any trivia match, that's going to be one of my strengths. Like, I'm going to be all day, like, know everything about all these family movie franchises. And yeah, the Mighty Ducks is like damn near one of my favorite franchises, not only for family movies, but for sports, for hockey, for, yeah, like, I mean, it's like the flying V, the ducks fly together when the roosters are crowing and the cows are spinning circles in the pastures. Ducks fly together. I mean, come on. And the Nightmare on Elm Street, another franchise where I just need to see more, because what I've seen has been great, though. Well, actually, except for the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, I have seen that one. That one wasn't great, but the first few, I think I've seen like the first four, and then a New Nightmare. So, and yeah, they're all pretty solid. But I mean, I'm just a huge Mighty Ducks fan. Emilio Estevez, like I'm very character driven, where you have like movies with like these ensemble character groups. When we get together, when it's done right, then I'm a huge fan. So I'll go Mighty Ducks. Ryan.
I love Nightmare on Elm Street. The first one especially was my favorite, but Mighty Ducks was consistent all three movies. Emilio Estevez crushed it on all three, so Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, even I started watching that series on Disney Plus, the Mighty Ducks Game Changers. Now, this isn't coming back, so screw that series. Fuck that.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel.
Yeah, I'm done with that. Yeah,
I like the first season, and now he's not coming back. Well, fuck that show then. I'm not watching it.
Yep, exactly.
Sorry, the Don't Bothers are not enough to get me to watch that show. I was watching it for a minute.
No, Josh Duhamel or whatever. Like, he's not going to get me to come back. So.
You ain't Emilio.
Yeah. But Richie.
Yeah. Well, all three Mighty Ducks movies are good. Are really good. But yeah, again, it might be unfair advantage, but like, I just think there's more. Obviously, there's more in the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, and more of them are. I think more of them are more top tier than I sort of rank the Mighty Ducks movies. So yeah, like I would agree with Pez. The only sort of one I don't like is Freddy's Dead. So yeah, I'll go Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah. Sounds good. Moose, what do you think?
I don't have the nostalgia for the Mighty Ducks. I think I was kind of aging out. I saw the first one, and then I think when 2 and 3 were coming out, I was just kind of aging out of it. So I actually don't even think I've seen 3. I'm pretty sure that's the one where they like go to college. I don't know. But I mean, there's enough of the Nightmare on Elm Streets, and I think Freddy Krueger and Robert Englund playing the original Freddy Krueger is a horror icon. And while I'm not the biggest horror guy, I can also appreciate iconic roles and their significance on cinematic history. So I will vote for the Nightmare on Elm Street.
All right.
Tough match for Nightmare, 3-2.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Nightmare, moving on. We got
Predator.
We got Predator going up against the Psycho franchise. So. All right. So got more horror in there. I guess I'm first, right?
For anybody who doesn't know, Psycho is a franchise.
Yeah. It has multiple movies apparently that I haven't seen.
Yeah, I've seen them all. I've seen them all.
Yeah.
Jordan.
Yeah. So yeah, since I've only seen the first one, and the first one is amazing. It's really, really good. So I do want to see the other ones. It's probably one of those ones I'll probably wait till like around Halloween time to see them. I just didn't have time. I was watching other stuff this Halloween, but I'll eventually get there. And the Predator movies, they have some great ones. Like the first one's like is an all timer. Second one's is really good, but and then after that, it kind of just goes off the road. I haven't seen every single one. Like I haven't seen the Predator or Predators. They have so many of these like names that are so convoluted that they change one word or one letter to like try to tell the difference between each one. But and I did see Alien versus Predator. I'm not that good, but even so, like there's more movies that I've seen and more that I like than Psycho. So I'll vote for Predator.
All right, Ryan.
Right.
I have seen all the Predator collection movies. I have not seen all the Psycho ones, mainly because I think I liked the first one. Tried to watch 2 and 3, couldn't do it. So for Predator, for me, just make it easy.
Right.
Yeah.
Richie.
Oh, Richie.
I think both these franchises to me have 3 good movies. Like Psycho's great. I love Psycho 2. Psycho 3 is awesome too, directed by Anthony Perkins. But yeah, and then Predator. I love Predator 1, I love Predator 2, and I'm a huge fan of Predators. I think it's underrated with Adrian Brody. I guess just because it's more sort of iconic, and because you have to remind people that Psycho is a franchise and Predator is more iconic. So I'll go Predator, but I don't mind if Psycho goes through.
Yeah, sounds good. Moose, what do you think?
I, like Cousin Ryan, have not actually seen beyond Psycho 2. And I remember watching Psycho 2 and like even at a young age thinking like, did the original need to have more? I like a lot of the Predator content. Alien versus Predator stuff, whatever. But I will defend Predators. I think that movie's a lot of fun. I haven't seen Prey yet. I have heard amazing things about the movie Prey. Predator 1 and 2 for me are just good old-fashioned ass-kicking sci-fi, and I dig it. I really do. It's funny because I actually like Predator 2 maybe a little bit more than the original Predator, just because Danny Glover's just that cantankerous old prick, fighting a predator, and you get Busey before he was crazy Busey in Predator 2. So I'm going to vote for the Predator franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally forgot about Prey. That's gonna up it going forward, vote. Because that movie rocks. But
I gotta watch it.
Yeah. Well,
Moose, in theaters.
Anybody that knows me, Moose, knows I'm like the biggest Predator 2 fan on the planet.
Yeah.
Like I fucking love Predator 2. I've watched that movie an ungodly amount of times. I think it's great. But yeah, I love the first one, obviously. Predators, I think, is a ton of fun as well. And yeah, the Predator is not great. I think it has moments. I think it has its moments, but it's not great. But yeah, Prey rules. Prey is probably my top 10 of the year, like for sure. So that's a really good one. Wish I'd been able to see it in a theater. That's a whole nother discussion.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen it in a theater. That would have been great. But yeah, I do think the Psycho movies are kind of underrated. Psycho 2 is actually really, really surprisingly good. And yeah, 3 is pretty good too. And even the fourth one, it's interesting. It's like Anthony Perkins on a radio show, like telling his story, and then it flashes back to Henry Thomas as young Norman, kind of like the Bates Motel series. Like it's, and then they kind of took off of that. So, it's an underrated franchise. I'll say that, but it's not the Predator series. I've lived with that for way longer, watched it way more. So I'll go Predator.
Yeah. Sounds good. So it'll be Predator.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we got the Mission Impossible franchise. There's Rocky.
Oh shit!
This could be an interesting matchup. It's tough.
Yeah, this is a tough one.
Yeah,
Ryan, you got the distinction going first. On this one. Yeah, it could be tough. Yeah.
Man, this is hard. This is going to be a really hard one for me.
Yeah.
I love both these franchises. Screw it. Mission Impossible for me is going to be my pick. It was. I don't really need. If I talk myself more, I'm probably going to end up picking Rocky, so I'm just going to go Mission Impossible and move along.
Yeah.
What the shame is that one of these is not going to make the Elite Eight.
I know.
That's the shame.
Yeah.
That's the tough part. But Richie,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think both of these franchises just have one film that stands out as not great, but like they're still like they're still okay. You know, like I don't know, like Rocky V gets a lot of shit, but like I don't know, I didn't hate it. It's certainly a step down from the other, from the other installments in the franchise. But yeah, and you know, like obviously Mission Impossible 2 got a lot of grief when it came out, but again, if you don't look at it as I think Austin says before, if you don't look at a Mission Impossible movie, it's fun. It's a fun action movie. Yeah, I guess. Look, I don't mind if either of them go through. This is really tough, but I guess because I've always been more centered, kind of. I don't know. I more gravitate towards action. I'll go Mission Impossible.
Yeah. Moose, what do you think?
Mission Impossible is an interesting franchise because the movies, as they age, like the newer movies are continually better and better and better. And we did a rewatch of the Mission Impossible whole franchise earlier this year, my wife and I. And with the exception of 2, I actually think all of them are pretty stellar movies.
Well, even 2, I rewatched recently, Moose. I think it's a bad Mission Impossible movie. I don't think it's a bad action movie.
No, it's not a bad action
movie. Just it doesn't fit with the other ones. It's not like a Mission Impossible. It's weird. It's just a weird analogy.
John Woo thing,
Yeah, it's like it just doesn't mesh with the other ones. It's weird. Yeah, I don't know.
Really doesn't. And then at the end, you're like, so I guess he just dumped Sandy Newton.
Yeah, comes back. If you were to make your order, you watch the first one and then you jump to 3, and I think you go from there.
I agree.
It's like, and it flows 100%. Better.
But look, 1, 2, and what is it? Rocky 6, I think, Rocky 4 are outstanding. I have yet to actually see any of the Creed movies, so.
Oh, okay.
I know. Not for lack of it. I don't know. It just hasn't struck me.
Good.
We got Rocky Balboa, and it was like, okay, we already got an old Rocky. I don't know. I'll give him a watch at some point in time. But I dig the Mission Impossible franchise. I love the character of Ethan Hunt. I love that he's just become this incredible mastermind who is you think, okay, he's falling behind, and you're like, nope. He had you the whole time. And the crazy, the batshit crazy stuff that Tom Cruise will continue to do, in service of the Mission Impossible movies, is amazing. I can't wait. There's gonna be a day, Mission Impossible 10 is gonna be the death of Tom Cruise. Something they're just gonna push him. We were hanging him over real lava.
Well, he's gonna do that space movie, and there's gonna be a space disaster, and he's gonna die.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Where he literally wants to film a movie in space, and something's gonna go wrong, and he's just gonna die.
We warned him not to go naked into space, but he said he was doing it for the shot. So, I'm gonna vote for the Mission Impossible franchise.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, Austin?
Yeah, this might be the toughest one so far because this is nostalgia versus my brain currently. Maybe one of my favorite ones right now versus my favorite one kind of growing up because, man, those Rocky movies just came on cable all the time. TNT it was a staple of TNT. So, it's I've maybe lived with Rocky more, but man, again, Mission Impossible is my favorite series probably going right now, and they're so good. And the fact that he's managed to top himself on every one of these and stay, again, the consistency of Mission Impossible, you can't really deny it. So it's really, really close, but I'll go with the Mission Impossible stuff.
Yep. Yeah. And so with Mission Impossible, I grew up watching these movies. I watched every single one. I watched them over and over again. Even Mission Impossible 2. Because Mission Impossible 2 was the first DVD that I ever owned, and the first one I ever bought. And I don't mind it as an action movie. Yeah, I mean, as a Mission Impossible movie, it doesn't hold up. There's just too many guys taking off their masks and I don't know, just weird, I don't know, facial expression and extreme close-ups of people. But I mean, the rest of them are all great, and it almost seems like every time they outdo it. You think that there's no way that they could do anything better than what I just saw, and they top it almost every time, and it's just or at least like right on par. So yeah, it's like really, really good because probably my favorite's Ghost Protocol, but the other ones are like right there, like I mean, just like neck and neck, and the Rocky movies are great too. Like I was pretty late to them. Like I saw the Rocky movies the first time like about 4 years ago or so, and I just planned to watch maybe one here or one there, but man, I just love that first Rocky movie so much that I sat down and like I watched one a day until I had seen the entire franchise because they're literally that good. They really just they inspire you. They just like make you feel like you can do anything. They make you feel like you're going to be a better person. Like just all that stuff. It's a great underdog story. There's some just really cool stuff. And I'm sad one of these movies can't make it through, but I think right now I'm just a little higher on the Mission Impossible, so I'm going to vote for that. But yeah, Moose, you should go see a Creed 1 and at 2 because those are some of the best of the whole franchise. They're really solid. So
Yeah,
but
you're muted.
But Ryan?
No, Mario voted first. He voted for Mission Impossible.
Okay.
I was going to make a suggestion to Moose. When you get to the Creed movies, watch Creed and then do this. If I can make a suggestion, have you seen the Rocky IV director's cut yet that he did?
Yes.
Okay. Watch Creed, rewatch the director's cut of Rocky IV, then go into Creed 2. They mesh really well together.
Oh,
really well. The director's cut of Rocky IV, and you immediately, that's what I did. I saw the director's cut of Rocky IV in the theater when they did the event, and then came home and watched Creed 2, and boy, did it make that movie even better.
Okay.
It's really great.
I literally just told my wife, I said, I'm shocked I haven't seen these movies. She's like, I have.
Yeah.
Great. We're going to put them on
just
the
a
agenda.
slight alteration if you watch Creed. Creed, Rocky IV director's cut, Creed 2. Just saying.
Sounds good. I like it.
Yeah.
I will take the recommendation.
Yes.
Well, up next we got Scream franchise. Looking at Shrek. All right.
Okay.
So.
All right, Richie, go first.
Yeah.
Stuff. Like as people know that Scream's my favorite franchise, but I can't. I can't just gloss over that. It has its flaws. I think Scream 3 gets a lot of hate that it's not deserved. I think Scream 3 is pretty good.
It's a fun movie.
It's a fun movie. Yeah, it's just sort of like about I like it's very New Nightmare-ish kind of thing, and I like it. Scream 4 is like really Scream 4 is the only one I don't like. I don't know. There's something about it. I don't know. It's for unnecessary. Scream, which should be called Scream 5, is really good. Yeah. I liked it. Also, I was offended though. Close to you haven't here. A killer named Richie. That's pretty unlikely. Anyway. Very unlikely. But Scream 1 and 2, neck and neck as far as my favorite in the franchise. I think they're amazing. Shrek, I like the first one. It was so popular back in the day that it was sort of getting towards like really overrated territory, just because people would fucking quote this like at school all the time. Like, shut up. Shrek 2 is pretty good for what it is, but it's a step down. Shrek 3, not a fan, and Shrek 4 is okay. So I guess more consistent, I'll go Scream.
Yeah, sounds good. Moose, what do you think?
I think your chat is
right.
spammed with porn.
You got the free Vert girls chat in U City. All right.
Where's virtual girls. Okay.
It's all that editing software of yours.
Yeah, right. That editing stuff that's like slowing my computer down. Yeah.
Terabytes.
Exactly. I think the first and second Shrek are awesome, incredible. I mean, you get like they were so on point at that time. Bringing in like Antonio Banderas to play Puss in Boots, and he's kind of basically like mocking Zorro the whole time. Like it's
that's right. You kind of have to include Puss in Boots in the conversation. It's part of the same franchise.
Yeah,
and I enjoy the Puss in Boots movie. I really do. Yeah. I think it's a lot of fun. And so I'll give those three, but I do dig a lot of the Scream properties, and I do think that as far as like movie wise, they are better with the more they're coming, the more sequels that are coming along, the better that they are. I feel like I voted for a lot of horror tonight, and I'll probably need a shower after this, but I'm going to vote for Scream.
Yeah, sounds good. Austin.
Yeah, I haven't actually seen the fourth Shrek movie or Puss in Boots because I'm 36 years old.
Shrek Forever After.
Yeah, but oddly enough, I have to remedy the Shrek Forever After this week because I need to watch it for a Battleground match. So, so I will be remedying that this week. Not really by choice, more out of necessity.
What's the question?
Okay, I won't say my opponent or whatever, but I'll just say worst DreamWorks movie of the 2010s. My opponent chose that movie. I chose the Boss Baby, so we'll see how that goes. So yeah, but I don't know if Shrek 4 is bad or not. I haven't watched it yet, so we'll see. But having said that, yeah, I think the first two are really good. But again, I'm a horror guy. Minions is not.
Is it not
DreamWorks? That's Illumination.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were a separate studio. I thought DreamWorks owned Illumination.
No,
that's my bad.
But yeah, the Scream is pretty, consistent. I'm not as big a fan of Scream 4, but it's still watchable overall. And but the highs for the Scream franchise, I think, are just higher for me, and it's a franchise I've just seen way more. So I'll go with Scream as well.
Yeah. Yeah, like I'm a huge Scream fan. It's my favorite horror franchise of all time. I just love the way the movies are written to be very meta, and I love the dialogue, especially in the first two, are like really solid. It's really smart and like funny and witty dialogue. They make some actors like Jamie Kennedy or like Matthew Lillard that maybe I wouldn't be as high on. And there's some really like fun actors to watch on screen, and they really give some good performances, I think. And I like all of them. I mean, despite like 3 or 4 maybe being a little less. I mean, I still really like them a lot, and I'm looking forward to the next Scream. I mean, some of the things they did in this last one, I am okay with, but at the same time makes me curious about what they're going to do going forward. So, and Shrek, like I probably really only like the first two, and the first two I actually love the first two. They're really good. After that, they're just okay. They're not bad. They're just okay. But so I think I got to go with Scream.
All right, and Ryan.
I think it's going to be the same for me. Scream is probably my favorite, one of my favorite horror franchises. I watched every single one. I marathoned all the first 4 before the 5th one came out, and then I watched them all when they came out in theaters the year leading up to the 5th one. So I love Scream. And Shrek, first one, awesome, something new. It was funny. Second one, yeah, entertaining. Still, 3rd and 4th, it just went downhill. And then Puss in Boots is whatever. So it's gonna be Scream for me.
Yeah, all right.
And Chris Diaz is here, by the way.
Oh, okay, all right, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
What's up, Chris?
Very much.
You can give a quick last-minute vote here. We're voting against the Scream franchise versus Shrek. So, which one would you vote for here?
Easy, it's Scream. I mean, as much as I loved the first 2 Shrek, I love Scream more. And like the last Scream movie didn't piss me off like the last Shrek movie did. Even though I do like Puss in Boots, but that's it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, it's a sweet for Scream. Yep.
It's interesting in like an alternate universe. Shrek would have been Chris Farley because
I know it would have been pretty interesting. Yeah. But we got Spider-Man, so it includes all the Spider-Man movies in there, and then Star Wars. Oh man!
All right,
it's Star Wars. Okay.
All right, Moose, you first. Yeah.
Against any other opponent, I think I would be voting Spider-Man all the way. But Star Wars is Star Wars. Star Wars is Star Wars. Yeah, the original trilogy, of course, is outstanding. I maybe can take some redeemable things in Revenge of the Sith, but Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones are lost. I'll defend Solo. I actually think that the Kessel Run in Solo was about the most fun that you will have in a Star Wars movie. So I do think that there's a lot of redeeming elements in Solo. I was good with The Force Awakens. I was on board with The Last Jedi. I think that there were mistakes made. I just think there was too many hands in the pots with The Rise of Skywalker. Rogue One is the greatest Star Wars movie made. It's fantastic. Andor is the greatest Star Wars series currently streaming.
Amen.
Killing it. So yeah, and when it comes to Spider-Man, I'll even defend the Mark Webb Spider-Mans with Andrew Garfield. And Into the Spider-Verse is by far the best Spider-Man movie. But Star Wars is Star Wars is Star Wars is Star Wars. So that will have my vote.
All right.
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
awesome.
it's interesting because even breaking down like movie for movie, these are both kind of similar. Because I love the original trilogy of Star Wars. Rogue One is great. I like Revenge of the Sith a lot. There's Force Awakens is great. But then there's ones I don't like. But it's similar to Spider-Man because I kind of dig the Raimi stuff. I like Amazing Spider-Man 1, and I'm not a big fan of the Tom Holland movies. I just don't like Tom Holland's Spider-Man. I'm not a fan. And hot take, whatever, I don't know. And Spider-Verse gives me a headache to watch. It's not that I think it's bad. It's literally I physically can't watch it. It gives me a migraine. So I even on rewatch. But yeah, when it comes to Star Wars, I've been a fan since I was like 5 years old. Watching the movies on VHS, playing with Legos while I was watching them, and just watching them over and over and over again. It's been ingrained in my blood for 30 years. So I have to go Star Wars.
Yeah. This one's tough for me because if you look around my room, it's like pretty much all like Spider-Man stuff. I got a Spider-Man there, and I got Rogue One over there. I got like Spider-Man, Star Wars everywhere. So it's kind of, and like I really have to like kind of think about it because I mean, Spider-Man, like I love almost every movie minus the second Mark Webb one. I don't think it's very good. Spider-Man 3 has elements that I like. I don't hate it as much as some people do. I actually would defend that movie, but Star Wars has multiple movies that I don't like. Like episode 8 and 9, I don't like either one of those. I think they're both terrible. And then I think that episode 2 is not that great either. It's pretty bad. So I mean, and like even episode 1, like the pod racing is great, the Darth Maul scene is great, but not really anything else. So and yeah, like it's just tough. Like there's things to like and things to hate about Solo too, but so I just think that like there's so many more ups and downs for me, and like I grew up reading the Spider-Man comics. Like he's been my favorite Marvel character, or not only that, like fictional character, like period. So I mean, I think I got to give it to Spider-Man here. I mean, if Star Wars was going up against anything else, I would vote probably Star Wars, but not against Spider-Man. I got to go Spider-Man. So,
all right, Chris.
This is tough. Are we considering all of Spider-Man, like the Spider-Man spin-off and all of them?
Yeah.
Because
all of them that were theatrically released.
Yeah. Because I also had to take into consideration Venom 1 and 2 and Morbius because they all connected to the Spider-Man stuff.
It is true, yeah. I didn't even think about those.
Listen, watch every crap on and I get it. Like I don't like Rise of Skywalker. I think the first two prequel movie are not good, even though I will say some of Attack of the Clone is good. There'll be one stuff, but I like a lot of the Star Wars stuff. And I had to I love Andor right now. I love Mandalorian. I love a bunch of what's going on right now. Yeah, you got the prequel. You got Rise of Skywalker. You got Boba Fett. You got Obi-Wan for the most part. But I take those over Morbius any day. Morbius was one of the worst movies I've seen this year. That pissed me off as a Spider-Man fan, and I don't really like Venom 1 and 2 that much. And I think Spider-Man 2 is bad. I had to go with Star Wars stuff. Nostalgia stuff I grew up on, and what makes me happy recently went over Spider-Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, Ryan, yeah.
So for me, it's gonna have to be Star Wars. I actually just this year watched all the Spider-Man movies, preparing for the last Spider-Man, and I've watched all the Star Wars because that's what I do every year is watch all the Star Wars movies in a row. I'm weird like that, but consistently, Star Wars is always a win for me. So Star Wars
Yeah.
Richie?
franchise.
Yeah. All right. Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. The first one's great. The second one is one of the best comic movies I think been made. I think it's amazing. Spider-Man 3 has elements of a good movie, but yeah, I think there's just a case of too many cooks. They should have focused on one villain. I'm not a huge fan of the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. It's just not, especially the second one. And then Tom Holland's one I like, but yeah, I probably still prefer Sam Raimi's trilogy. Star Wars, I like the original trilogy. And I don't hate like the new trilogy as much as other people. I had fun with all of them. The only one like Rogue One is amazing. The only one I actively disliked is Solo. I thought it was boring. So just because it's more consistent, I'll go Star Wars.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Star Wars will take it.
Star
We'll
Wars
do it. All right.
All right.
You put Spider-Man up against Mighty Ducks. I'm probably voting for it, but
Yeah.
you know,
We'll reveal it.
Yeah.
or Shrek
When you-
or something.
when you
know?
consider
Yeah. Yeah, we'll reveal part of my strategy for tonight was to vote for Spider-Man no matter what it went up against. That was one of them.
Yeah.
So,
when you're
yeah.
considering, you also
Good call.
would have be saying yes to Venom and Morbius. You have to go Star
I
Wars.
like the
Yeah.
I like the two Venom movies though. I don't give a fuck. I like both those movies. And they're
Yeah,
great.
maybe a hot day. I hated Let There Be Carnage. I thought it was
I think that movie's a
So
schlock
bad.
fest and so fun. I think that movie's a schlocky great time.
Oh,
Schlocky great time.
it's
Yeah.
terrible. And you
It's terrible.
perfect casting with Cletus Cassidy with Woody Harrelson, but just an awful movie.
and
Yeah,
and
awful.
and Morbius is a meme. So
Yeah.
uh,
Have you
But-
mastered to say Morbius?
Yeah, but here we have the TMNT franchise, so it includes the original trilogy and then the more recent one and the animated one, all of it. So and then the
Yeah.
Expendables.
Yeah. All right, I'm up first. This
Yeah,
is
first, okay.
interesting because yeah, I love the original first two Ninja Turtles. I think that animated one's kind of boring. And then I overall I don't hate the two Platinum Dunes ones. I think they're okay. I think they have their moments, but and it's like if we're going on consistency, I mean the Expendables movies are pretty fucking consistent. You're going to go into them knowing exactly what you're going to get. A lot of gun battles, a lot of fight scenes, pretty consistent action. So it's more of a thing of like nostalgia for the characters versus a consistent franchise. I guess I'll go Turtles, but it's only because I've lived with that franchise a little longer, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean this one's interesting for me. I mean I kind of know where I'm going to go, but with Expendables, I did not like the first one. I thought it was just bad. It wasn't like I really hated it, and like it just like it took so long for the action to ramp up for anything to really happen. They're just having these dumb, boring conversations and everything. The second one was actually really great, and I haven't seen the third one because I was so low on the second one that like after the
did
or no,
you
I'm
say you
sorry.
like the second one?
Sorry, the first one. When you say yeah, and that like even though I like the second one, kind of like I don't know, like I'll get to it, and like I'm not saying I'm never gonna watch it, but I'm just not running out to watch it. But like Turtles, I grew up with Ninja Turtles, like it was a huge part of my childhood, especially the original trilogy. I'll even defend the second and the third one. Like I even like the third one, like when they go back to Japan and all that stuff. But the animated one's great too. I like that one, but the ones that had Michael Bay involved, I don't even know who actually directed them. I didn't even bother to even like find out because they were horseshit garbage. Like I hate those. They like I don't know what they're even thinking, what they're even doing. Like all the characters were just off and wrong and just didn't. It just did not work. So I'm really hoping that this new one with with Seth Rogen that they really do it justice. I'm not even sure if it's going to be live action, animated. I've heard multiple things. I don't know. But even so, like they're both franchises that are all over the place for me. But I think I get a little more enjoyment out of the TMNT, so I'll vote Turtles.
All right, Chris.
Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah, I've been on. People know my opinion about Turtle. I don't like this franchise that much. I try to give the movie a try. I think the animated one, and then not part of it, but the only other one I like is Batman vs. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because I had bat and shit and saying that and had to give it expendable. I sorry when you had April O'Neil wait the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Michael Bay version. I'm like that's one of the most dumbest way. Oh my god!
Why are you casting Megan Fox for April O'Neil? Someone who can't act, like literally can't.
When you get Whoopi Goldberg like in a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle race chair, like my god! Everything I would say, Kang is easily the best part of the two Michael Bay-ish movie. Like when he show up in the second one, but oh god! And the animated one is the only one I like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. I don't love the first expendable. I love the second one. I see third one, the guilty pleasure fun. I had to go expendable.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds good. Brian?
Anything after the first three original TMNT movies don't exist to me. I don't believe in them. They don't. Yeah. So Expendables for me. Just.
Yeah.
All right. Richie.
Richie.
Again, I grew up with the Ninja Turtles. They were my favorite. Like it's my first favorite franchise. Was that and Power Rangers? I was like, no, I'm fucking that. That's why I was like excited back in the day for like a Ninja Turtles Power Rangers team up, and they did that on Power Rangers. It wasn't great, but
It's terrible. Terrible.
That was bad.
A nightmare fuel right there.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I have like an affinity for the Turtle films. I love the first one, love the second one. Third one's not great, but fun worth whatever. I'm sort of with Austin. The animated one kind of bored me a bit. And look, I'll defend the Michael Bay ones. I think the first Michael Bay ones is fun. Yeah, I think Megan Fox is miscast, but beyond that, I think they get the
Stephen Amell.
Stephen Amell's Casey Jones. I mean, I've said this before. Like, I think one thing Christian Howell suggested one time was CM Punk, and he's not the most popular guy in the world. But I think
that would have been better.
But I think they get the Turtles mannerisms down, all right. In the first one, like, I love the elevator scene when they're just sort of beatboxing out there. It's fun. And Out of the Shadows, it's not great, but again, I probably have a soft spot for it. I think it's I have fun with it, and also I probably have a soft spot for it because it's got Sheamus in it as one of the henchmen, and I'm a wrestling guy. I'm looking forward to the Seth Rogen version. I think I'm curious to see what he'll do with it. But I'm looking forward to it. Expendables 1 is very good. I was surprised how much I liked it. I initially thought it was just a cash grab, just getting all these people together, but that turned out to be a decent movie. Expendables 2 rules. I think it's the best Jean-Claude Van Damme performance. I think he's a great villain. And Expendables 3 is all right, but it suffers from like having a lower rating. I think they were kind of handcuffed to what they could do.
There's too many goddamn people in that movie.
Yeah,
and 50 people in that movie is just way too much to balance.
Yeah.
And
you've got like people in the cast who are from combat sports who can't act, like Ronda Rousey and was it some there's a boxer and there's a Victor Ortiz or something.
Yeah.
So I have more affinity for Ninja Turtles, so I'll go Ninja Turtles.
All right, and Moose.
Yeah.
This one is tricky for me because I really don't care about either franchise. I think the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is awesome. The original movie is bar none, just nostalgic, fun, have a great time. I don't have the love for 2 that a lot of people do. With the Toka and Razor mutants, I actually think 3 is slightly better than 2. The animated movie's fine. I had I mean, Ninja Turtles was a category in the Schmodown I spun 4 times.
Oh, Jesus.
I knew Ninja Turtles inside and out. And when you know that much about a franchise that you don't care about, rewatching these movies don't give you any more appreciation for them. I like Richie. I dig Expendables 1. Expendables 2 is bonkers. But come on, we got Chuck Norris, right? He got bit by a rattlesnake, and 3 days later, the rattlesnake died. So, it's the Expendables is, I don't know. I grew up with all these old farts in the Expendables, and so it's fun to see them getting together, and, like Richie said, like Mel Gibson, Jean-Claude Van Damme, like they're the villains in these movies. And it's like, okay, fine. They're a couple of old farts too. But yeah, I don't have the love of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The more recent ones are just, they're unbearably hard to watch, at least for me. And like I said, I watched those movies quite a few times because nobody else wanted to watch Ninja Turtles, so I figured I'd have a strategic advantage if I chose Ninja Turtles. Again, I'm probably going to vote against either one that moves through the next round, but I'm going to vote for the Expendables.
Okay. Well, with that, we have a tie. So how the ties work is we rotate the tie-breaking vote starting with the bottom. So since Chris Diaz is now here, he gets the first tie-breaking vote. So you can vote for either one. You can flip-flop, whatever. You have all the power, Chris, whichever one.
Let's say
No.
it's the Expendable day. I am sorry.
Wow.
Oh, sad.
Yeah.
All right.
So should I pick TMNT then for our match, Haas, when we get going?
Yeah.
Oh, you'll get worked. You don't want to play me in Ninja Turtles trivia. You don't. I know who voices every one of them fuckers. Like, that's like deep.
Have read
Just talking
answer
about
the
the first
question
one.
about the animated show, the animated deep directed video, any of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle live action.
Oh yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Oh, agreed. Yep.
So we got
But we got the
There it is.
Godfather up
This is
against
Toy
Oh,
Story.
Wow. Okay.
Thank God I made it in time.
Yep.
Ooh. All right, this could be interesting. Let's go Jordan first.
Well, this is easy for me. I made it known I'm not a big fan of The Godfather, contrary to what everyone thinks it's a masterpiece, and I just think it's fine. Like I don't know. Like I need to rewatch them because I fell asleep watching 1 and 2, and I just. But Toy Story is amazing. Like I love all of them, including number 4. But I do think number 4 is the lesser of all of them. But I mean, the third one though, like I cried multiple times watching that thing, and it's just so good. It's the best thing Pixar's ever made, I think. And yeah, I think that Toy Story is awesome. So it's got to be Toy Story for me. Chris.
You know me. You know what my 2 favorite movies all times are. It's Godfather 1 and 2. I love Toy Story. I do. I think Toy Story amazing. I would defend Ford to my dying day, but I also have Lightyear, but not that great.
That's true. You got to take Lightyear into effect, technically.
And some of these shorts are not that good that they did.
Which I loved Lightyear, so I'll take that into effect.
I think Lightyear is good. That's okay. But Godfather 1 and 2 are amazing. Amazing acting, amazing screenplay, amazing music. I would watch Godfather 1 and 2 any day. Third one is fine, but better than Lightyear. The Godfather.
Yeah. Well, cousin Ryan?
So we have to take into account Lightyear, huh? And
yeah.
that was like a punch in the gut.
It's Andy's favorite movie, guys.
It's not that bad though. I don't understand why people think it's bad.
Well, like
It's fine.
Andy shouldn't review movies. Easy.
Yeah.
Andy lost all cred. Just knowing that, it completely changes my answer because I would have said Toy Story, but I consistently, I can't. No, it's gonna be Godfather. That was a punch in the gut for me for Lightyear. I don't want to talk about it yet. It's still fresh, raw feelings for it. So, The Godfather is my choice.
The only good thing that came out Lightyear was Sauce the cat, and that was the best part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we're gonna do an episode about possibly overrated in the movies that like people really like it that maybe we don't. I'm almost debating on having it then like a podcast. I want to know why people don't like Lightyear. Like it's a discussion for another time, but I would like to get into
Because you
that.
made a whole movie about a space ranger who's not being a space ranger.
He was in Space Rangers the whole time. What do you from beginning to end?
No,
When
he's
the best
not.
thing about the movie is the first half hour until that weird time
If
jump.
he had gone off into space with socks and had been the adventures of Lightyear and Socks doing space ranger things, I would have been on board. But then we have to go back and Taika Waititi up.
And
All right.
the only emotional part of that movie is the message his friend.
He's my favorite
leaving him.
director, and I
Yeah,
love him
that's
and
why.
everything. Yeah, but anyways, Richie.
Yeah, Godfather 1 and 2 are amazing. Third one's, I think, underrated. But yeah, I mean, you could take Lightyear into effect, but despite me joking about stuff, I haven't actually seen Lightyear yet. I think number 1's amazing. Number 2's underrated and really good. Number 3, that always gets me. I think Toy Story 3 is amazing. Toy Story 4 is good, just unnecessary. I might just go my childhood here and say Toy Story, but I have no qualms about Godfather moving through.
Yeah. Well, Moose.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. Lightyear was delightful.
Yeah, it was delightful.
It was delightful. It really was.
Fredo.
The first hour of it was delightful.
Relax,
Then
Fredo.
the last half happened.
Okay. Godfather 1 and 2, great movies. Godfather 3, shit the bed. Look, I'm not going to try to be a super cinephile and go, okay, Godfather 3 has redeeming elements, and there was, Sofia Coppola's choice was, maybe not the right. Yeah, come on, it just didn't work. It doesn't quite go with that. It's like trying to make a comedy of the Godfather series. There was nothing funny about Godfather 1 or 2.
No.
Toy Story has been consistent. The 4 Toy Story movies alone are extremely delightful. Toy Story 3, I think, being my personal favorite. That moment when they all hold hands and you think that they're going to be incinerated, come on, not a dry eye in the house.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely going to vote for the Toy Story franchise. The Godfather saga has just never hit. And again, I don't want to pretend to be more than I am when it comes to cinema. I enjoy those movies. I absolutely see the significance of the cinematic thrones of history. But it's not something I go back and revisit all the time. If I want to feel better about life, I watch a Toy Story movie.
Yep. Sounds good. Well, Austin?
Yeah, it's both these movies have somewhat unnecessary movies attached to them. Because I'll defend Godfather 3. I think it's better than its reputation, but kind of unnecessary. But Toy Story 4 is also unnecessary. Lightyear's unnecessary, and I think both Toy Story 4 and Lightyear are both kind of boring. To be honest, I don't think they have a lot of spark going for them. I fell asleep multiple times watching Lightyear in the theater. I could not stay awake, and I've been on a massive Godfather kick, especially this past year. I have watched 1 and 2 multiple times just this year alone, just for different reasons, for different shows. Then the 4Ks came out, so I watched them again. I saw the first one in the theater again this year. I've been on a kick. I love The Offer, that show on Paramount+.
Yeah.
That was great. Excellent. I gotta go Godfather. I just appreciate them more and more the more time I see them all, and they become some of my favorite movies ever. So I gotta go Godfather. So with that, we have a tie again. So we go to Ryan for the tiebreaker.
The Godfather.
All right.
It's all that coming.
Yeah.
Which I love Toy Story, I do, but I had to go with the end.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's
If they had stopped with three.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, 3 and stop trying to milk it. Stop it.
Yeah. 4 is not bad, and there's Buzz Lightyear, but anyways. We got the View Askew universe with
so the View Askew movies against X-Men.
All the X-Men in the Fox universe, so includes Deadpool, includes all the Fox, even includes
Deadpool and New Mutants
too.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
Are we including including Motivated Bandits and Patrick Stewart in that too?
Probably not that one. I would think.
No.
But yeah.
All right. So this time we start with Chris.
I haven't seen a lot of the VSU universe. I've seen Jalen Silent Bob. I think a bunch of his other things. I think they are fine. I need to watch more of his stuff. I haven't seen all, but I haven't seen clip 1, 2, and 3. But I had to go with X-Men. I've been rewatching a bunch of these for trivia purposes. Yeah, you got Origin. You got a few bad ones like Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix. I love Logan. I love Deadpool 1 and 2. I love Day of Future Past. I finally saw the World Cup with a really good Day of Future Past. I think that's easily my favorite movie. But I love all of them. They cheesy, yes, but they hold a special place in my heart. And like Time in the Ball is one of my favorite scenes in any comic book movie.
Yeah. Great.
X-Men.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan.
All right.
It's probably a no-brainer for everyone who knows me, but I absolutely love Deadpool, Deadpool 2. Each X-Men iteration has one movie that I really, really like. But I will say the View Askewverse, Kevin Smith's world, I love it. I've seen every single movie multiple times. I just watched Clerks 3 like 3 times in the last week. I watched it again this weekend. I love the Clerks trilogy in general, but I love all of the Askewverse. So for me, it's going to be View.
Okay. Richie?
Yeah, X-Men 1, X-Men 2 are good. X-Men 3 kind of sucks. X-Men Orange's Wolverine is dog shit. And I like X-Men First Class and Days of Future Past. The Wolverine is okay. Deadpool, X-Men Apocalypse was bad. And X-Men Dark Phoenix, I don't even know they're trying. And I like Deadpool and Deadpool 2 less so, but it's still decent. But I'm a Kevin Smith guy, man. I think I can't think of a movie in the VSQ universe I don't like. Probably my the lesser one is probably the newer Jay and Silent Bob, and I still think that's cool. It's good fan service. So yeah, I mean, I haven't seen Clerks 3 yet because Kevin Smith makes it hard for his movies to come available now. He even had a horror movie. Even had a horror movie with Chris Jericho that's on cryptocurrency.
Wow.
Anyway, Killjoy was here, but yeah, I will hopefully get to watch that at some point. But yeah, VSQ holds a special place in my heart, so I got to go VSQ.
Yeah. Moose, what do you think?
I'm fine with Kevin Smith. I like some, don't like some. Some of it just doesn't hit for me. And then the stuff that shouldn't hit for me and doesn't hit for others hits for me.
I like Jersey Girl. I will defend Jersey Girl. I think it's a good movie.
Yeah, I'll defend Jersey Girl.
Jason
Same.
Nah, that one hasn't aged well. However, I'm a huge fan of The Pool. And I cannot wait for us to get Ryan Reynolds. And because of how Phase 4 has gone, would it be just an amazing meta humorous joke if Deadpool made his way into the MCU by resetting it? However, that being said, I find a lot of joy out of the X-Men movies. I will tell you, if you cut out a few scenes and maybe add 1 or 2 in Dark Phoenix, it's a great movie. We just rewatched New Mutants a couple of days ago, and again, same thing with that one. If you rewrite a couple of things and you put in a few tidbits here or there, it's a solid kind of horror X-Men movie, something that hadn't been tried. They should have kept with the horror side of it and made it kind of a spooky action movie like the Demon Bear series was. But still, they're solid enough. I mean, even the misses still have some fun entertainment value in them. And I love the X-Men just in general. So View Askew will probably win, but I'm going to vote for the X-Men universe.
Yeah.
Is that what you call Deadpool? Is that what you call Deadpool in social situations? What up the pool? The pool. Come over here, the pool.
Cool, yeah,
Well,
yeah,
He and I are such good friends. I'm allowed to call him Pool.
yeah,
We share the same
yeah. He
cat.
and Moose go way back. Yeah, yeah. But Austin, what do you think?
Yeah, this one might come down to the fact that when I started renting movies from Blockbuster in the early 2000s, I got really obsessed with the View Askew universe for like a couple of years, and I rented them all. I ended up buying them all, and when I realized that they were all like kind of connected with these characters and these references, I was like, oh, that's awesome! Like, even the more you became like saw the movies, you would see the connections, and again, some of these later movies are a little more fan servicey, but it's more for the fans of those movies, and like you appreciate everything that pops up. And Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back is one of my favorite comedies of all time. I just think that movie just makes me laugh almost more than anything. It's going to come down to the fact that I don't dislike any of the View Askew movies. Like, there's ones that are slightly lower on a ranking, but like Origin sucks. Mutant sucks. There's a couple of I've only watched the Wolverine once because it was kind of boring. I mean, there's movies like that in that series that just don't do it for me. It's got some high highs, but I think, again, consistency, I got to go with the Kevin Smith View Askew universe.
Yeah, this one's tough for me because the high highs I have for X-Men are really high highs because besides Spider-Man, like the X-Men were the next comic book characters that I grew up reading, all the Uncanny X-Men and all the different iterations of the X-Men characters, and it's like there's some really high highs. Like I love X-Men 2, even X-Men 1. I'm pretty high on. First Class, both Deadpool movies, Days of Future Past, the Wolverine. Like I love all those. Then you have some other movies like Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix and Wolverine Origins that just are not good. And then also Logan. Like I can't forget about my favorite movie ever made is freaking Logan. So that has to factor in for me. And I do love the View Askew universe. Me and Austin, when we actually met in person, we went and saw Clerks 3 in the theaters together. So that was cool. That's like a cool memory that we have. And like I don't know, like, there's none of those movies that I love as much as the movies from the X-Men franchise that I love, though. Like I think that they're all great, they're all solid. There's maybe not any bad movies in the View Askew, but I mean the highs for X-Men are just like soaring high for me. So I gotta go probably with X-Men.
All right, we have our third tie in a row, so we shifted up, and it's
We
going
don't
to go
know.
Richie.
There you go.
Ooh, what are you gonna do, Richie? You gonna keep it or switch?
View Askew.
All right.
Oh, that is
Yeah, I
bad.
kind of figured
Wow.
it would go that way. Yeah.
Some upsets tonight, but yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
All
It
right.
could possibly be an upset, but all right, that'll be the end of the
So, all right.
first round, so we can fly through the rest. Now that we got to talk about them.
Went to our Sweet 16. The winners of these matches will go into the poll and make the Elite Eight. So
I'm already dreading some of these next rounds.
yeah, some of these
I know
rounds
what
are going to be tough. Yeah, they're going to be tough. Yeah.
And I'll leave the screen kind of like over so you can see what the first matches are at for Chris because he wasn't here for some of these first matches, so you can kind of see what they
I am agree with the first one so far.
Okay.
Yeah,
so Alien versus Back to the Future, and then Blade versus
Back to the Future.
Versus
Child's
Play.
Play
Child's
beat
Play
out
won,
Blade.
yeah.
So
all right, Ryan.
Back to the Future for me.
Richie.
yeah.
Just because I know it's probably not going to go through, I'll give a love for Child's Play.
Yeah. Moose?
Wouldn't it be great to go back to November 5th, 1955 and just observe Doc fall off his toilet and come up with the idea for the flux capacitor? That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
That being said, Back to the Future is a perfect trilogy that moves forward.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Austin?
Yeah, I think I got to go Back to the Future. I've been a fan longer of that franchise.
Yeah. Like Back to the Future 2 is in my top 5 of all time, and the first one's in my top 10 of all time. So of movies ever made. So I'll vote Back to the Future.
All right, and Chris.
Yeah, this is easy. I had a pleasure seeing Back to the Future on a big screen this year at my local theater, and I love Back to the Future. I love the trilogy. I don't love 2 as much as everybody else, but I do love the other two as well. So yeah, Back to the Future.
All right.
Yeah.
To the Future, we'll take it. We make it to the Elite Eight. So it makes it to the poll.
Yeah.
Probably expected.
And also, I just found out that they do some kind of event every year now where they're doing an Enchantment Under the Sea dance at the original place that it was filmed. Some kind of church, like outside of the LA somewhere, that and have like a lot of the original cast come back and they play all the songs. I watched someone on YouTube go to it, and they said it's an annual event, so that'd be cool to go to.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
Justin Lawn hosted a screening event, and they had a video message from the one who played the mom. It was a really nice thing.
Oh, nice.
There's
That's
a
cool.
Enchantment Under the Sea dance that exists takes place annually. We should go to it next year.
Yeah. You got to go to it. Yeah, seriously. But we have the Dark Knight trilogy up against the East Trail 177.
All
So-
right.
Which movie than the other one?
All right.
Yeah,
Richie's up first for this one.
All right, Richie.
All right, this is
Might
tough
be muted.
actually.
Okay.
I like all three of these.
You're
I like all six of these movies. No, I'm just a bit laggy. I like all six of these movies. Yeah, this is pretty tough. Look, I'm gonna just because I have more an affinity for Dark Knight Rises and do Glass. I'll go Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah. Moose, what do you think?
Sorry, Shyamalan, and your weird obsession with water. The Dark Knight trilogy is clearly the better trilogy, so I will put through that one.
Yeah.
Or vote
Austin?
for that one.
Yeah.
The split universe only played in the shadows. It was molded, raised by it, molded by it.
Yeah.
I'll go with the Nolan verse. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Austin gets a point for that.
But I'm a big defender of those movies, though. I like that trilogy a lot. I'll just say that again. I like that. I like that Shyamalan trilogy. I'm a fan.
Yeah, like I like all the movies in both of these trilogies. I mean, the third one for each one are the lesser of each franchise, but it's got to be the Dark Knight trilogy. I mean, and I will say though that my favorite is Batman Begins. I actually prefer that one over the Dark Knight, but I'll vote for the Dark Knight series. So,
All right, Chris.
It's not about spending the money. It's not about wasting money, Shyamalan. It's about sending a message. Everything burned. Yeah, Dark Knight.
Yeah. Well, Ryan.
Christian Bale is my Batman, so the Dark Knight.
Yep.
He needs to walk up to James McAvoy and go, "Do you feel in control?"
Yeah.
Crossover.
You don't seem in control. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sad because I do love Split and I do love him.
Yeah. Same. Yeah,
All
but
right.
Dark
That next
Knight
match is going to
we
suck,
got-
by the way, when we get back
we got
around to
the
it.
Halloween against
Right.
James Bond.
James
Oh, you
Bond.
voted against my other favorite trilogy.
Oh, How to Train Your Dragon.
What?
Yeah.
Harold and Kumar. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Harold and Kumar. Yeah, it's your
Yeah.
favorite. Yeah.
Pretty solid. Moose.
Moose. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm gonna go Halloween for no other
Yeah.
reason than I just, like I said, I said it earlier. Just never had a solid go-to to want to watch Bond movies. So
Some people just like to watch the world burn, and that's
Yeah.
news. So.
Yeah. Well, Austin?
usually not. Usually I'm the voice of reason, but in this
You
particular
know?
case, I just don't like James Bond. So
With
yeah.
this match, I'm going to go with the franchise I've seen more times, like with the movies, and watched way more consistently. Halloween.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like both franchises, I have quite a few holes that I need to watch in these movies, but just because, like, it just comes down to this for me that I think that original Halloween from '78 is like a near masterpiece. Like for horror movies, it's like what all other horror movies. Well, all of their slasher movies want to be. They want to be like that. So I'm gonna vote Halloween. So
Chris.
Chris.
I am sorry. Are we saying yet to like Halloween Kill, Halloween, and
Yeah, Halloween Kills
Halloween
rules.
Rob Zombie 1
Yeah.
and 2
Yeah.
Halloween,
Rob Zombie
Halloween
one's fine.
6?
Oh,
Halloween
yeah.
6 is
No.
great.
I would pick Casino Royale, Skyfall, From Much of It Love. Like, go figure. Like, a lot of the better James Bond movie over the crappy Halloween movies. Like, the only good Halloween movie to me are the original and the 2018 one. So I had to go with Bond.
Yeah. Well, Wolfman in the chat, he's a fan of
Jesus
Halloween.
Christ.
So, yeah.
When you make Michael Myers weak in the last one and waste the movie by having this, new killer, not having Michael Myers be the front and center of his final confrontation.
The movie's called Halloween. It's not called Michael Myers. It's called
I
Halloween.
know, but still, like that picked me up more than anything this year.
Yeah. But I'm with you, Wolfman. I kind of agree with you. But yeah, Ryan.
It's not gonna matter, but 007 for me.
Yeah. Richie.
Yeah, I think I told the story before, but there was like my ex flatmate had he was terrified of Michael Myers. So one time he left his phone when he used his phone like nearby me, so I changed his ringtone to the Halloween theme and rang him.
Nice.
I love that.
But yeah, I'm gonna go with a more consistent franchise, and to me, I guess it has the benefit of having fewer movies in it, but I'm gonna go Halloween.
Yeah.
Wow, maybe with the upset.
Yeah.
Maybe an upset because Bond is not going to make the Elite Eight. Wow.
Best Fierce
No, it
Universe
is
now.
not. The greatest franchises. No.
Wow. Bond is not going to make it.
No, sometimes it just is all about the matchups and who's on the panel and all that. So.
Yeah. All right.
So
Jurassic
moving on,
Park.
we got Jurassic Park going up against
How
the
did
MCU.
Jurassic Park pass Lord of the Rings? Oh my god!
Because it just did.
Because of
It's
the
awesome.
Hobbit
Because
movies.
the Hobbit movies
It's
exist.
the Hobbit movies.
If it was just the
Exactly.
Lord of the
Dominion?
Rings trilogy, the Lord of the Rings trilogy deserves to be in
Dominion
the top
and
3.
Fallen Kingdom and Jurassic Park 2 and 3 exist.
Jurassic Park 2 and 3 are good.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Is it Richie? I think.
No, it's me.
No,
Gee, okay.
You're not going to like my answer. It's the one I've been a fan of since I was a kid. I'm going to go Jurassic Park. I want to watch more.
Oh man. Like,
I just want to point out you're wearing a Jurassic Park shirt, Jordan. That's all I want to point out.
I know, yeah. Like, I wanted to just find one of the few shirts I had representing any of these franchises, but and also, like, if you came to me maybe like 3, 4, even 2 years ago, like maybe I would vote for the MCU. But the thing is, like, I've since revisited because if you watch my original top 64, it's like every other movie is a comic book movie. But then I really had to sit down and really think hard about it and reevaluate that. Like, just because it's a comic book movie doesn't mean it's like the greatest movie ever made. It just means that they're really fun and they're really good. But there's other movies out there that I need to consider when it comes to cinema. And
not in the Jurassic Park franchise versus the MCU.
But the first one, like, it is like my number 3 favorite movie of all time, though. That's the thing. And like, I'll defend The Lost World. I'll defend Jurassic Park 3. And I just figured that like, there's just so many movies in there. I would have been more high on some of these franchises if we could have split it up, but we didn't get to split it up. So I'm gonna go Jurassic Park, I think. So, Chris.
Listen, I love the first Jurassic Park. I like Jurassic World. I do not like a lot of the other ones. Dominion right now in my top 5 of what's the movie of the year so far. But I love the MCU. Yet, did we have an up and down? Yes. Did we have some stuff that could have been better turn up and a few other things?
Yeah.
But
especially lately.
We got high stuff. We got Avengers Infinity War. We got Endgame. We have No Way Home, the best movie of the Phase 4. We had Shang-Chi. We had a bunch of great movies. Had to go with the MCU. They've been more consistent. Even the lesser one had redeeming quality, including Wakanda Forever over Defend. I think there are a bunch of good movies in one that came out.
I still haven't seen Wakanda Forever, so maybe that could have influenced it. But
And also
Right.
continuing the TV show because I do want WandaVision and I do like Miss Marvel a lot too.
yeah.
And Netflix does count now, so Daredevil. So yeah.
Right.
Marvel, MCU.
Yeah. Richie, what do you think?
Jurassic Park.
Ooh, all right. Moose.
Okay, this one's simple. This is simple, guys. Come on. Jurassic Park has one cinematic masterpiece in there. And I've said it before. The original Jurassic Park is my second favorite movie. I absolutely love the original Jurassic Park. We can sit here and defend the other movies, but the plain fact of the matter is you guys are voting for Jurassic Park for the sheer point of chaos. And that's a stupid reason. Okay.
Should have split them up.
Hey, I didn't speak when you guys were talking.
Okay,
Let me issue my points here. Captain America, Winter Soldier is more than just a comic book movie. That is a political thriller. That is a spy espionage movie, and it's one of the best that you're going to get. Yeah, it features Captain America. Guardians of the Galaxy. You took one of the most obscure properties, maybe in literature, and created a franchise of lovable characters, right? They brought the Infinity War to screen and allowed the villain to win in the Infinity War movie. The fact that you guys are like, the Lost World's okay. The Lost World, come on. It's dumb dinosaurs running around.
I love the Lost World.
She should have been killed by the Stegosaurus. There's no way she dodges that tail strike. Okay.
But didn't you say Jurassic Park was your number 2 favorite movie ever made?
The original, yes.
Yeah.
But then if I go through my pan of favorite movies, there is way, way more Marvel movies in my top 64, whatever you want to call it. And there's one Jurassic Park movie. They made one movie and they made subpar sequels. I like the cast, and that's the reason why I'll defend them. And I voted for them the first time against The Lord of the Rings, which I think is another perfect trilogy. But The Hobbit slowed them down. Yeah, sure. Maybe what's happening in Phase 4 isn't the greatest, but you cannot deny what happened in Phase 1, 2, and 3. You cannot deny that in those phases, there was maybe 2 movies that were not great, but still, the not great Marvel movies are still, from an entertainment value standpoint, better than 90% of the crap that we normally watch. The MCU, by far, should be the greatest franchise and should win the night. And if it doesn't, it's because you guys are being jackholes. I'm voting for the MCU.
All right.
Thank you, for putting MCU over.
We have a tie, though, right?
We have a tie. You are so lucky, Moose.
No, it's not luck, because you guys are going to try to shoot it down on the next one. Of course it's the MCU.
So Moose, what do you think? Jurassic Park, yeah? Oh.
Jurassic Park,
yeah, right.
Since none of you have Venmo'd me any the MCU's going forward.
There's still time. I haven't put it through yet. All right. I'm not against bribing and so on. but
I have 2 Jurassic Park movies in my top 100.
Cool.
I have 1 MCU movie in my top 100. Just saying. 2.
Yeah. This is also proving my point.
What's
that by
the
not
second
splitting
Jurassic Park movie?
By not splitting
a movie I've seen a ungodly amount of times that I will defend in my day. That's Lost World. I love Lost World.
Yeah.
Lost World's great.
Yeah, but
it's really not.
Well, just proves my point though that
fun to watch.
Not splitting these MCU movies up, it's going to be like an easy victory. It's going to go straight to the end. That's what I predicted at the beginning of this whole thing.
If we split them up, then this tournament part was going for ages.
Well, I was already going for ages, so I don't know. but anyways, yeah, that'll be the end of that. So we got Nightmare on Elm Street up against Predator. Okay.
Jordan.
So, yeah, this one's tougher. Shoot, because I mean, I think for like the sheer like quality in the movie that I like the best, it's got to be the original Predator out of all of them. But I mean, but then you go down the the line to some bad ones, but I haven't seen them though, and I have a lot of holes in these franchises too. Man, but the first two, like, even the second one's really good. It's a lot of fun. And then for Nightmare on Elm Street, I mean, the first one's great. The first three really are like really good, and you got a New Nightmare. Man, probably I just have to do it because I've seen more of them. I got to go Nightmare on Elm Street. So just the sheer fact I haven't seen enough Predator movies. So,
all right, Chris.
I like Nightmare. I do. I like the first one. I like New Nightmare a lot. I need to watch more to them. I see Penny Visualization is fine, but I had to go right. You know, I love the movies in Predator movie. Prey is easily in my top 20 of the year so far.
Oh shoot! I forgot about Prey. Can I switch my vote now?
I want to keep forgetting about Prey. We talked about it last time.
You did this earlier. Forgetting about it. Yeah,
the original Predator, it's good.
That does it. So Predator.
Anyway. You're switching? Okay.
Predator 2 had fun moments, and I don't mind Predators. I think it's a fine, decent one. I think worth it, but an interesting movie. I think there's good moment in it. And I haven't seen the Shane Black one all the way through. I just seen the first couple minutes. So Predator. Right.
Yeah. All right.
Predator.
Yeah. Richie?
The more consistent one is Nightmare, and I can't believe you changed your vote. Nightmare.
Well, I just need to even see more. Even with that, I have ones I haven't seen. And like Prey combined with the first two, it's like three bangers right there. So, Moose.
Predator.
Yeah. From Austin?
I'm going to go Predator.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Everything
Have you heard how much I like Predator 2, Richie? Have you heard how much I like Predator 2?
Yeah.
And the first one? And
Can we
and Predators?
Yeah.
Although, for the sake of entertainment, can we get oh my gosh, Danny Glover's guy versus Freddy Krueger? Like,
Oh, Mike versus Freddy Krueger. Yeah.
Just dropping F-bombs like every 2 seconds as he's just fighting Freddy.
Well, he would say they would
Give
say
him
the same
edge, let
thing
him
to Freddy.
keep the, like, disc.
Him and Arnold could say the same thing to Freddy. You're one ugly motherfucker.
Right,
yeah, right. Yeah.
I just want like Freddy to like slash his leg and for Danny Glover to back up and be like, I'm too old for this shit, and to just go right back into the fight.
Yeah, right. Well, got Mission Impossible up against Scream.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Chris. Yeah. All right, Chris.
I had to take into consideration which one I hate more between Scream 3 or Mission Impossible 2. Had to go because I've been consistent with the last couple of movies, Mission Impossible. I freaking love 3 to 6. I do love the Mission Impossible movie. I love Philip Seymour Hoffman 3rd. I love Ghost Protocol. I love Road Nation. I love Fallout. I'm like, they do it bad, but the fact that we had got back-to-back great Mission Impossible movie in the last couple of years, had to go with the one that been surprised me. I should probably beat Rocky, but I still, had to go with.
It was close. Rocky and Mission Impossible was close. It was really tough. We all agreed that was probably one of the tougher ones of the first round. Yeah. So, that was really close.
Yeah.
Right.
My favorite franchise of horrors. It's gonna be Scream for me.
Oh, all right.
Richie.
Richie.
Scream 3 is an underrated movie and it's pretty good. I'll go Scream.
Yeah.
Can I get the Ethan Hunt versus Ghostface like to the death match? Because I think Ethan Hunt wins that game.
Yeah.
10 out of 10 times. Doesn't matter who it is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Give me the Matthew Lillard Ghostface, so it's an easy win for Ethan Hunt.
Yeah.
Just like this vote is an easy win for me.
I mean, sure, he's not going to beat Emma Roberts, but
Yeah.
I said it earlier, the Mission Impossible franchise continues to get better with each movie. It really does. Very few franchises can boast that they're doing that. And they're just consistently like riveting, exciting, and fun action. So Mission Impossible.
Yeah. Oh, Austin?
Yeah, how many franchises can be like, hey, part 6 might be our best one?
Right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Marvel.
Yeah.
Yes.
What,
Maybe.
the original Avengers?
Mm.
So, it's better, so that's better than Infinity War and Endgame for you?
Yeah.
It's pretty damn close, to be honest.
Okay, yeah. So
Whoa.
Ryan's an origin story guy, man. So
Okay, fair enough.
like his favorite Star Wars is A New Hope because
Yeah.
it's the beginning.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I if you give him that matchup, yeah, he will probably take
Sure.
it 9 times out of 10.
All right, I'm going to go Mission Impossible. Yeah.
Yeah, like this one's tough because Scream's my favorite horror franchise of all time, but it's like, but Mission Impossible, yeah, like it just gets better and better and better every single time. It's a movie that I've watched with every single member of my family. I've got a pretty big size family, and yeah, they all love it. I mean, it's hard for me to find people that just love the Scream movies as much as I do to sit down and like share those moments besides people in this community, but like besides that, I have a harder time, and like I don't know, like it's just a lot of like good times, good memories, and also I mean, yeah, these movies they're just so good. Like the next Mission Impossible, I'm like hyped for. It might be my most anticipated movie for next year, and I'm not saying that about Scream, like the next Scream movie. So yeah, I'll vote Mission Impossible.
All right,
So-
Mission Impossible. We'll scoot through
All right.
4-2.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Oh, let's see. We got Star Wars. It's
Oh, come on.
Expendables.
Hey, look, it's expendable.
Yeah, it's
Star Wars.
expendable.
Can we all say it, or do we have to?
Yeah, we can skip some time.
No,
We'll do
let's
Star
move
Wars.
it on.
Star Wars. Okay, we'll go Star Wars.
Wars.
We'll save a little time. That's fine.
Yeah,
All
we'll
right.
save some time.
Sorry,
The
Stallone.
Godfather. up
Rocky
against
was better.
the
So if
views-
it was Rocky, we might have a conversation. But yeah,
Oh, you got to
Okay.
be kidding me!
all right. Godfather views. Okay, Ryan.
View askew. Just move on.
Yeah. Yep.
Richie.
Richie.
Video skew, move on.
No.
Moose?
Moose.
View askew, move on.
Yep. Austin.
Godfather.
Jesus.
View askew. Move on. Get the Godfather out of here.
Godfather.
Chris.
Fuck the viewers. Godfather. Fuck the viewers. Sorry.
Ooh. Well, it's too late. It's gonna be the View askew. It's moving on.
That's the biggest hot take of the night, right
No,
there.
no. No,
Kevin Smith wishes he could make a movie as good as Godfather.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Writing Godfather versus writing
Really makes me
VSQ.
happy.
Let
that
I
happened.
point that out.
Because my other strategy was vote against Godfather no matter what it went up against. So because I knew it was going to be
Why though?
because I'm not a fan of it. I just don't. I'm not.
You're in the minority.
And I know.
Jordan, you
Yeah, that's why I have to
broke-
do it. I have to do it even more because I'm in the minority.
Jordan, you broke my
Right,
heart.
yeah.
You broke my heart.
Yeah.
Break my
I know
heart.
it was you.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. I had to do it, but we have our Elite Eight, so we have what's going to be in there, and that's not the Godfather. It'll be the View Askew. But we have Back to the Future though up against the Dark Knight.
Right.
Ooh,
That's tough.
it's tough. Yeah.
All right, Richie.
Dark Knight.
Yeah. Moose.
Back to the Future.
Yeah. Austin.
Fuck. This is really tough. God damn it. Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Shit. I'm not. Ask me any other day. Could flip.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, I don't think we have enough road to get up to 85, Doc. So or 88.
85. How dare you?
88. 88.
How dare you?
I corrected it as fast as I said it, but yeah. 88. So yeah, back to
Wait
the
a minute, we're not done yet. Don't touch anything.
Not done yet.
Chris.
I'm not.
And much I love the Dark Knight. No way I would dare say no to Back to the Future. I love Back to the Future. The first one hold up so well. I love 3. C2 is good, but C2 is better than Dark Knight Rises. Back to the Future.
Yeah. Ryan.
Back to the Future.
All right. Back to the Future takes out Nolan. All right.
Yeah.
All
Back to the
right.
Future. All right. We got Halloween going up against the MCU.
Oh, just easy.
Moose.
Come on. Are you really asking for my vote?
Just as a
Yeah,
formality.
we are.
That's all.
Yeah.
For legal purposes, you have to state it.
Yeah, you have to say it.
Yep.
Halloween. Or the
Oh, there you go.
Come on, it's the
All
MC.
right. All right.
He said Halloween.
Yeah.
You just saying it so he doesn't get fined. All right.
Yeah.
That's right. Me and Marshawn
Awesome.
understand.
Yeah. Right.
Halloween.
Yeah. I can't this time. Like I got to go with the MCU. I think. Yeah.
You think?
Yeah. I think. I mean, but I do love Halloween like a lot. But Chris.
Yeah, any of you guys think that Halloween and the Rob Zombie Halloween better than any MCU out in your mind? MCU.
Rob Zombie's
Yeah.
Halloween's better than fucking Eternals. It's better than goddamn Iron Man 3. It's better than fucking. I can name Thor Ragnarok and Thor Love and Thunder.
Okay.
Whoa.
Yep.
Austin defend
Whoa
Halloween
there.
Ends. Defend they're making Michael.
I don't
B.
like Halloween Ends. I already said that on the show. If you know me, I don't like Halloween Ends. I said that.
But you voted for that franchise, so therefore guilty by association, right?
So which ones have I seen
Yeah.
more? Halloween. John
You talked to
Carpenter
me
is a
about-
better director than anybody that's ever directed an MCU movie. Period.
That's
Whoa!
horseshit.
Oh, yeah.
That's
I don't know about
horseshit.
that.
That dude has 2 good
No.
movies.
Yeah.
Wait, you want to a bunch of dread anything?
Well, Ryan, you said MCU, didn't you? Did you?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to. So
okay,
yeah.
Okay. I can't remember if you said it. Yeah. Richie.
Yeah, yeah, like they all bad movies in the franchise, sure, but I just I like Halloween, so I'm gonna go Halloween. Yeah, I don't like Halloween Ends either, but there's bad movies.
Yeah. All right.
Halloween
Well,
Death and Halloween Resurrection.
We
is
still
it.
win.
with that, it'll be the MCU. So, yeah. But,
3-1. I gave you the 1 point
all
for the
right.
Bane impression.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we got Predator up against Mission.
Do we have to?
All right.
Yes.
There might be a
I
discussion.
don't know. There's a
Some
discussion
options?
here.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
a discussion here because I have 2 Predator movies in my favorite movies of all time. And I think there's only one bad Predator movie. And I think there's only one sort of bad Mission Impossible movie. I think they're pretty on par for me personally.
Do you
And-
consider the Alien Predators as
No, I
Predator
do.
movies?
Yeah.
No, you
I
know
do.
why? We didn't consider Alien vs. Predator for Aliens.
Yeah.
Are you
We
sure?
didn't do that. Yes, I'm sure. Nobody mentioned it. It was not brought up. Because we kind of
It wasn't
decided.
brought up, but there's still
But
a
we
factor.
don't.
Just
But
'cause
which
no one
one
brings
does
it
it count
up.
for? But which one does it count for?
It counts for both. For both of them. It's a
But
part of
even
both,
then, in those
so.
2 movies, the Predator is the best thing about those movies.
Yeah, it's Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
For me, I'm voting with the one I've lived in more, Predator.
Yeah.
I-
Well, in my top 128, I have 2 Mission Impossible movies in there, and I have 1 Predator movie. So it's got to be Mission Impossible. So, Chris.
And much I love Prey, and much I love the original Predator and Mission Impossible. The last couple of Mission Impossible movies are like late top 100 movies all time.
Yeah, but the more time goes on, Prey might creep in there to my top 128.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, Prey already in my top 10 or 15 of best film of the year so far.
Right.
But Ryan.
So not only was it an amazing franchise, but we got a Limp Bizkit song out of Mission Impossible. So let's move this along.
Yeah,
And
Mission Impossible 2. Come on.
I'll stand by this point. I know, like, Limp Bizkit's divisive, but that song's a banger.
Yeah,
That song is a banger.
Mhm.
It's one of their better songs.
Also, for Mission Impossible 3, you should listen to the Tiesto remix from MI3. That's pretty cool, too.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to go Mission Impossible here.
Yeah. And Moose.
Yeah, I got a ton of love for Predator. I really do. I mean, when it comes to like sci-fi movies, I'm super hit or miss on certain things, and I feel like Predator's always hit for me. But I do feel like Mission Impossible is the better of the franchises. But yeah, Pez, hey man, The Phantom and Predator 2. We share the love, baby.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if I didn't love Predator 2 as much as I love Predator 2, like it'd probably be a shoe-in for Mission Impossible. But I'm telling you, those first two movies are fucking bangers, dude. Like they're the shit.
Yeah.
Like, they're great. So it's just me.
Yeah. I would actually chime in for Predator 2. Like Austin was the one that introduced me to it, and it was awesome. But Phantom, I'm still the jury's out on that one. But,
No, come on.
No, yeah. I'm not saying I don't like it. I just don't know yet. I might give it another rewatch. But we got Star Wars.
Oh my
up against the
Viewers Universe.
Oh my
Jordan.
God.
Oh man, this one's tough because like there's no View Askew movies I don't like, but there are several Star Wars movies I don't like. So it makes it tough, but you also have to think of like how great are the really good ones and how many good ones are there? There are, I don't know, like 7 for me, like really good ones that I love. So it's like I think I got to give it to Star Wars. I'm not hanging View Askew things in my room here. I'm hanging Star Wars stuff. So. Chris.
Maybe I don't probably be the only one voting. I had to go Star Wars too. I think VHQ is good for my scene. I just love Star Wars more. Whether it's the movies, video game, TV, or anything. Yeah, Star Wars. and top anything VHQ right now. Like just because I have good writing in this.
Yeah, right before we went to air here, because I can finally watch some stuff that's not for these shows. I watched the last episode of Andor's, and it's freaking amazing.
The sacrifice speech top anything in the VHQ for one of the best monologue.
Man.
I would agree.
Skarsgård's killing it in this role.
Yeah, so good. Skarsgård, yeah. But Ryan,
I'm gonna hand you a drink through this gas tube. You look like you need it yourself.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
It is hard, but I know it's gonna move through, so I'm gonna vote with my heart because I just love it so much. The View Askew universe.
Yeah.
I consistently love every single one of those movies in that world. Star Wars, I don't agree with Haas on some of the he picks of he thinks that are good movies. Like for me, Solo doesn't.
Oh, surprise!
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 Yeah. So View Askew universe.
Solo this moment. Yeah, but Richie.
Yeah, one's an iconic franchise with no blemishes, and the other Star Wars. So okay, good.
All right, sure. Ooh, all right. Well, Moose.
Star Wars is Star Wars is Star Wars is Star Wars.
Yep. Well, Austin.
I'll just go by the basis of I've been a Star Wars fan since I was 5. I've been a View Askew universe fan since I was maybe 17. Star Wars.
Yeah. Star Wars.
I haven't been a View Askew universe fan for 30 years.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, even through the bad times, it's like I can always go back and watch my despecialized Blu-rays of the original trilogy and enjoy them.
Yeah.
That I may have acquired through.
Anytime I get bored, I get bored, I just go on my phone and play something that will be published. I just watch anything.
Yeah, I've been waiting for that Knights of the Republic on the remake. It's coming soon.
Can we appreciate this? Is a pretty solid Final Four franchises.
Yeah,
I will say.
this is solid. Yeah,
Ones that
like
have endured
four
through the years.
heavy hitters.
Yeah,
Yep.
some heavy hitters. So.
One of them, I'm pretty sure I'd vote very quickly.
So, all right.
If it was
so
not
we're
for
back.
Robert Zemeckis, maybe we'd have freaking more Back to the Future movies. But it's fine.
The funny thing is I predicted 3 of these 4. I completely forgot that you could consider Back to the Future as a franchise. But yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, toys. There was a cartoon show. It was a ride at Universal.
Video game.
I mean,
Video
video
game.
games. Yeah, I mean, it's a franchise for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Really good video game, actually.
Yeah.
All
So,
right.
who's up first?
Diaz is up first with this one. We should specify for anybody just listening. Back to the Future versus the MCU.
Yeah.
Okay. I love the MCU. I had to go Back to the Future. First round, masterpiece. Easily my top 10 of favorite movies of all time. Like, Back to the Future.
Yeah. Ryan?
I have Iron Man tattooed on me, so MCU. Go.
Yeah. Richie.
I have no MCU tattoos. Back to the Future.
Yeah. Moose.
The MCU has Rogers the musical. Where's the Back to the Future musical? They don't have one.
It coming to Broadway.
It is. It's on
It is.
Broadway. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
No, I know. Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. Back to the Future is a perfect trilogy. It really is. But I have been a Marvel nerd the entirety of my life since my father passed me down the Doctor Strange comics that he read as a kid. So I have to go with the MCU. I mean, yeah, sure, maybe Phase 4 is a bunch of stinkers, but at the same time, man, Phase 1, 2, and 3 had some incredible movies, and capped it with Infinity War and Endgame, which are by far some of the best 6 hours you can do if you just sit down and watch the 2 of them together. So yeah, MCU.
1, 2, and 3 had Iron Man 2, Soda Dot Well, and a few other stinkers too.
Yeah. Well, Austin.
Ever since I was 9 years old, my parents bought me the VHS set of the Back to the Future trilogy with the extra VHS of The Secrets of the Back to the Future trilogy, hosted by Kirk Cameron. That's a video.
That's classic,
which is still a feature on the Blu-rays. You can find it. I've been a fan. I didn't get Full Metal Trivia 36 for 36 on MCU. I got it on Back to the Future Trivia. I'm going Back to the Future.
Which you're still. It's funny thing is you still have not committed to playing me because I fear that you think.
I said last
let
time
me
I'll play
rephrase
you.
that.
Let's go.
You'll know that your triumphant streak will come to an end. So
I said last time, let's go. I'm waiting for you. The problem is you're not on Facebook. I sent you down to StreamYard links on Facebook.
I'm not.
So get on Facebook and let's go.
Yeah.
Well, I'll pitch it at the end, and then I'll give you an open forum for us to play each other because I have something working on.
I said it on the chat, but you might have to go to Facebook. I don't know the longevity of Twitter at the moment, but we'll see.
Right. Yeah. Who knows? You might be forced.
Yeah, Twitter might be out of business by 2023. We'll see. Yeah, might flush the whole thing down the toilet. We'll see. Anyways, Jordan.
This one's really tough because, like, looking around here, I've got an equal amount of MCU things and Back to the Future, but I have Back to the Future 2 as my number 3 favorite movie of all time. I also have Back to the Future 1 in my top 10. I have some MCU movies in my top 10 and top 20 as well, but they're a little further down. And so I just have so many things. I got my DeLorean here. I got my Doc and Marty. I got a framed picture of the freaking DeLorean in here. And then I also have this cool little lunchbox Pez sent me that's got that down there. And then also the zombies or the space zombies from Pluto on the back. This is cool. So yeah, I think I got to go Back to the Future here. But it's not easy though. It's tough, but yeah. Back to the Future.
I would love to
So-
hear the argument of
What?
how Back to the Future 2 is better than 1.
yeah. But so is it Back to the Future or are we tied?
4-2
Yeah,
for Back to the Future.
I'm lodging a formal
Back to the
complaint.
Future. Well, like to be fair, this might be the only franchise that can like legitimately for me take out the MCU. Might be. But,
Pez, you got 2 points now.
Thank you. I got extra points for that one, Moose.
yeah, but
Bonus points.
Yeah.
we still
I
have
gave you
Mission
the bonus
Impossible.
point for the Bane impression.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Mission Impossible versus Star Wars. So it'll be cousin Ryan
Might
first.
be easy.
You want to hear my impression of the guy in the bar in Back to the Future 3 of what's his name?
Looks like you got them shoes off of damn Chinese.
Everybody everywhere will say Clint Eastwood is the biggest yellow belly in the West.
Yeah.
That's my Pat Buttram.
The damn Chinese. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, on the other side we got Mission Impossible and Star Wars.
Yeah.
All right,
Yes, sir.
Ryan.
Star Wars. I just, yep.
Yeah. Richie.
Philip Seymour Hoffman's never been a villain in Star Wars, so Mission Impossible.
And he
Okay.
died too young.
He didn't get a chance to. I feel like he would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hollywood have played the
Yeah.
Stellan Skarsgård
I
role.
can see him as a villain on one of these TV shows for sure. He
Yeah.
definitely would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Hollywood have
Huh?
played the Stellan Skarsgård role. Yes.
Yeah, maybe.
He would have killed it at that too.
Mhm.
Yep.
Moose?
Star Wars is Star Wars is Star Wars is Star Wars.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Austin?
This may just come down to the two franchises I basically burned out on VHS, and that's Star Wars and Back to the Future. So Star Wars.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this one's tough because I don't know.
Is it?
Yes, because there's some Star Wars movies that I viscerally do not like 8 and 9. Oh, I just hate those movies so much. And even Episode 2 for the most part hate it. So, and I wouldn't even say that about Mission Impossible 2 that I hate it. I think it's still a good action movie. But the thing is, though, like the Star Wars, the highs of the Star Wars are infinitely higher than Mission Impossible. So I still got to go Star Wars. So,
Chris?
May have been the only voice in the room, Mission Impossible, because guys, you do realize the Clone Wars movie do exist. That Rise of Skywalker exists. That the holiday special exists. Yeah, Mission Impossible.
yeah, I don't know.
You
if
just
the
named
holiday
all the
special
reasons
would
why I
count
picked
here,
Star Wars.
but yeah.
Yep. Especially
Really?
the holiday.
There's still a
Yeah.
charm there.
Oh
There's
boy.
still a charm there.
Yeah.
There's still something
She
there.
making out with Ewoks
The
on
Clone
Christmas
Wars
again.
animated
Let's go.
movie is
Dude,
easily
so
worse
we're-
than
we're-
Mission
we're gonna do a
Impossible.
drink along at
The
some
Clone Wars
point.
animated movie is awesome.
Amazing.
It is
Amazing.
awesome. I couldn't watch the Clone Wars series, and then I watched the Clone Wars movie and was like, okay, I'll give it another try because it was amazing.
Rise of Skywalker also exists. Compare
Come on,
that
you
to
don't
Mission
love the
Impossible.
That's
Ewok
what,
movie
hey,
with-
Rise of
with Wilford
Skywalker brought
Brimley?
back my boy Wedge Antilles, albeit not in the next week, which
Hey.
I will lodge a
Yeah.
complaint. But still, I got me some Wedge Antilles. And who knew Admiral Akbar got it on and had a
And
son?
every consider Boba
Yeah,
Fett and
yeah.
Obi-Wan exists. So there.
Dude,
Yeah.
Obi-Wan rocks. If you don't think Obi-Wan rocks,
Yeah.
you don't understand Star
No.
Wars.
Obi-Wan rocks. Yeah, Obi-Wan's great. Especially
Come
Joel
on, the
Edgerton
Star
in
Wars
that thing.
universe has
Oh.
Wilford Brimley as canon.
Right.
And by the way, if you ever want to have a good drunk time, go watch that movie and just realize how many times he's just like, God damn it, get the hell out of my house, you fucking Ewoks. You know, God damn it, what the hell are you messing up the goddamn house for? God damn it. That's that whole movie.
Yeah. Oh man, that's good
Late
stuff.
Mission Impossible 2 did not have many clones in
Yeah. Well, one of these days we'll have to do a definitive Star Wars ranking and include all the TV series and everything. But
Yeah.
that might be another show for another time.
Well, we'll do that as like a Patreon tier ranker or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Rank all
Oh,
the
I'd be
Star
down
Wars
for
stuff.
We'll do that.
Something like
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
I would volunteer in
All right.
advance.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
we
for
can just
sure.
literally go thing by thing. We can include the fucking holiday special and the Ewok.
Yeah,
movies.
yeah.
Why
We
the hell
include all
not?
that. Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. May as well,
Everything.
yeah.
And let's hope that wins. No.
And may I be the only thing person
Yeah.
in the
Battlefront
room.
Endor, let's go.
Or like the like Ewok movies, or like
That's what I
Caravan of
said.
Courage, all that stuff.
Caravan.
Yeah.
You're making my point
Yeah.
even more.
Mhm.
Yeah. But well, we're down to our finals. So, what's the greatest movie franchise of all time? Is it Back to the Future or is it Star Wars? That's the question here.
All right,
So
Richie.
it'll be
All right.
Richie first.
Star Wars, nothing but Star Wars. I shouldn't sing because I'm gonna cough. That's how.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Richie, your
The next
voice
thing
is
that
a
we hear is like-
combination of Fergie and Jesus.
Yeah.
Well done.
Nice. Yeah. Moose.
Star Wars is Star Wars is Star Wars is Star Wars.
Austin.
Just some of my fondest memories sitting on the floor in the living room with the movies playing, building Lego X-Wings and crashing them during the Yavin battle. Every time one went down, crash them into the ground. You know, Porkins goes down, you crash it in, crash the other one into the wall, you know, just and over and over and over again. And, you know, just doing that with all the movies. And I just, some of my fondest childhood memories. I again, it's maybe a nostalgia thing. I don't know, but I don't care how many like bad movies there are. I will still basically be a Star Wars fan until the day I die. You know what I mean? Like, and come on, especially when John Williams passes away, that's gonna be a brutal fucking day.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be a
brutal,
man.
because you have to remember, even through the bad times, he was still cranking out some amazing scores. I mean, come on, say what you will about the prequels, but goddamn, the scores are still amazing. So
Yeah.
you know, and yeah, it's Star Wars, man. I have to.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for much as I love Back to the Future, and I do have it ranked higher on my list, but there's just so many bangers in Star Wars. I mean, there's bad ones too. I've talked about them, but I mean, yeah, like Star Wars has been a part of pop culture since the 70s, and it's been huge and a big part of everyone's life. I feel like even if you're not a Star Wars fan, it's like, you know who all these characters are. You know that, like I mean, even my like grandma knows who Darth Vader is, at least. I mean, so
Darth Vader won our greatest villains of all time tournament. I mean,
Yeah.
for a reason.
Yeah.
It's iconic.
Yeah.
It's iconic. You know?
Yeah, so I think it's got to be Star Wars. Yeah.
Chris.
Chris.
May I be the only thing person in the room here? I have to go Back to the Future. I'm sorry. I love Star Wars. I am a huge Star Wars fan, but Back to the Future is perfect trilogy with great music, memorable characters. I freaking cried when Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd took that photo together at New York Comic Con. Like, that brought tears to my eyes, like just seeing the two of them united again.
Yeah.
I love Back to the Future. I'm sorry, I love Star Wars, but Back to the Future, the music, the character, the Joe. Ronald Reagan, the president. Who the right president? Jay Lewis? Come on. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, that's it again on the big screen. It's just with one of the. I had the biggest smile on my face watching movie in my own local theater.
But also, Back to the Future makes the Darth Vader and Star Wars reference. Star Wars does not reference Back to the Future. Come on.
Yeah, but let's not forget Marty McFly being a little prick, buying the book and causing pretty much the future to be destroyed when you buy Gray Sports Almanac.
But Luke Skywalker tried to kill his own nephew. That's over.
He didn't, though. He didn't. He held back. He had a moment of weakness. He said he held back. He was pulling the lightsaber back, but Ben got scared.
God.
So,
yeah. Well, it's going to be
also
Ryan.
Yeah, because Darth Vader butchered every single
I thought Ryan voted
child
first.
in the galaxy.
Okay, I'm just making sure he got to vote. That's all. I'm just making sure he got to vote.
Did you vote first? I thought, yeah.
No, Richie voted first. Ryan did not vote first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right. We can
You
talk
guys
about
voted
it.
for the stand. I hate
No,
that.
He'll surprise us and go Back to the Future.
No, he's holding up the Darth
Okay.
Vader comic right now. Yeah. No, he's going to Star Wars. I'm just making sure. I want to let Ryan chime in.
Yeah. Sure.
I watched Best of the Best the other day. Good movie, by the way. But like James Earl Jones in that, it's pretty jarring hearing him say shit. I'm just like, oh no, you're Darth Vader. Oh, fair. But,
Yeah.
God, it'd be good now.
Best of the best.
Yeah. Well,
Shit.
it's gonna be Star
I love that
Wars
movie.
is our
All
greatest
right.
franchise of all time. So,
There you go.
Oh, my.
I won't
yeah.
push too hard on that. I'm fine with that.
For some reason, I just feel like there's a wider range of people that are into Star Wars versus a wider range that are into like these Marvel movies and comic book movies. I feel like maybe I'm wrong about
Well,
that.
it's because Star Wars literally spans generations. Like I said, 50
Yeah.
years.
It's
It's
50
Yeah.
it's
years.
it's
Right,
it's,
exactly.
it's people that are literally could be grandfathers right now showing it to their grandkids.
Yep.
Yeah, that Star Wars in the theater. Like it's. You have the it's literally generation by generation, and then everybody kind of has their own favorites or which ones.
Yeah, like my dad, he'll watch every single Star Wars movie, every series, everything. But then he skipped out on a lot of the recent Marvel stuff. He's like, "Nah, it's not for me," So it's kind of one of those things. But yeah. So, anyways, yeah, that was fun, guys. Thanks again. It's just our little half bracket, but it started out as a 128. So if you want to see where it all began, you can go back to August of this year. And you can find our part 1 and 2 if anyone wants to do that or anyone that's tuning in. So yeah, but that'll do it. So yeah, we'll do some plugs real quick and we'll get out of here. So we'll start with Chris. Where can we find you?
You can find me anywhere, Vapor, YouTube. Argue with me about why Back to the Future, why it's so much better than Back to the Future. I would argue differently. But I'm looking forward to the next couple of years because I think as much of you all loved it. The Paddington franchise get one more great movie, then we can have a different conversation about the best trilogy.
Oh yeah, then it can be included, right? If it gets one more, yeah.
Yeah, if
That
it
damn
turned out to
bear,
be as
Gene
good as
Austin call it. Yeah.
it turned out to
Not-
be
not-
as good as the other two movies are, yeah, there should be argument.
Not if Austin and Jordan have anything
Yeah.
to say.
Oh, that fucking bear.
Yeah,
Just-
right.
Whatever.
Whatever, yeah.
Oh, he's
But
delight.
God, I
Right.
was just watching Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent because I missed it in the theater. I was watching it today, and like Pedro Pascal thinks like Paddington 2 is like the greatest fucking movie ever. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, Jesus Christ.
The unbearable weight of massive talent is so good.
Yeah, no, I'm
Yeah,
enjoying
yeah.
it. I had to stop because I had to jump onto here. I still got like 45 minutes
If
left.
Pedro
but,
Pascal say that Paddington 2 is great, then there you go.
Yeah, all right.
Pedro
Well,
abides.
yeah. Well, someday I'll see that movie, but
Yeah.
Ryan, where can we find you?
Find me on Twitter at Cousin Ryan 2021. For now.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be it. But keep an eye out because there's something coming in the beginning of the next year. I got a show coming out that we're working on, and it's going to be called Under the Neon Veil. And it's about Las Vegas lifestyle, people who come to visit Vegas, their stories, what have you.
Ooh,
I got
nice.
my first guests, I should say, are going to be hilarious. So I'm really excited for everyone to check it out. So, yeah, it's going to be this guy. So, but we have a lot of things coming in the pipeline. Me and Moose are working together to get some things done. So
Nice.
keep an eye out.
Nice, yeah, we definitely will, yeah. And Richie, where can we find you?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm lagging a bit. Yeah.
When you surviving COVID, just barely. Right?
Yeah. No, are we all right? Oh man, why did it cut off right at the end? Hang on. There.
We can hear you.
Hang on. Yeah, it cut off right at the end. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, cool. Yeah, it was cutting out. Like right, the last thing I had to say, my internet's like, nah, you're good. But yeah, no, like you can find me on here and tier ranker. Yeah, like I'm always sort of a pitch hitter here, so keep it up
Yeah.
for that. You can find me, like on the doing wrestling trivia and combat, on CWT Combat Wrestling Trivia, hosted by Chris Cass on his Twitch page, which I think is Castifer. I'm in a tournament at the moment called Battle of the Combatants. I'm doing pretty well at the, not to toot my own horn, but yeah, so we'll see how that plays out. And then I've got I've got a podcast and Robert Cameron. We dive into the world of Tubi movies. It's just so bad they're good stuff. It's fun. Like the next episode we're filming, we're sort of taking a break from Tubi-esque movies to talk about like some of the Christmas movies that are on there, because by the time it comes out, it'll be near Christmas. So I'll get around to watching Black Christmas. So I'll probably like that. I'm not gonna shit on it. So
The original?
The original,
yeah.
not the two crappy
yeah,
remakes.
no, 1974 or whatever it was.
Yeah, no, the original was good. The
Uh,
original was good.
Yeah.
Go watch the
Sounds
remake.
great,
yeah.
There you go.
Cool.
I actually saw the remake first. Saw the 2019 whatever it was. That
Oh,
that-
2019 was the
Oh,
worst
I feel
one.
so bad for you.
Oh, with Carrie Elwes or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So but other than that, I'm around. I got a battleground match coming up relatively soon, so check out for that when it uploads. Other than that, I'm around.
Yeah. Sounds good. Well,
Moose.
where can we find you?
For now, you can find me on Twitter at Big Moose Haas.
You guys gonna pay your $8 to Elon Musk?
Of course not.
Yeah.
Of course not. But kind of long in the works. Myself, cousin Ryan, and our good friend Benny Hamlin, you may know him as Brother Lomas, have put together the Benny and Moose Save America Trivia Hour, which will start airing in January. We will have two types of trivia format, both movie trivia. One, we are going to be kicking off with a YouTube channel streaming drunk trivia tournament. I have extended an invite to the Movie Hero Network to put together a team to compete in drunk trivia. They will actually be competing against Cousin Ryan and his Twitch team.
Ooh, all right.
So round one for you guys will be Cousin Ryan. Now, Cousin Ryan is part of the show. He's our bartender. We have bartender hints. You can ask the bartender for a hint 3 times in a game. We will have to find a different bartender for that match, of course. But it's open, completely free. The second version of it that's not drunk trivia is if you love a movie, if you love a series of movies, if you love a whole league or a whole cinematic experience like the MCU, and you want to challenge someone to one-on-one combat, we will write said match for you. You just need to DM myself, Cousin Ryan, or our good friend Benny Hamlin. He's at Crush the Plums on Twitter, and we will write said match for you. Austin, a challenge has been thrown for a Boondock Saints match. You're in. Okay,
All right.
we will write that match.
All right.
This is where I will challenge you to a Back to the Future.
Let's go.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yes.
Love it.
I told you
Perfect.
I not only hold the record right now in Full Metal for 36 for 36, perfect 100%. Nobody's ever done it in any of the matches, but I also have won an online trivia contest where I came in first place out of 30 other competitors. So I have heard damn near every question you can make about Back to the Future. Bring it the fuck on. Let's go.
Nice. There we go. All right. So we got
You
you
know
guys.
what?
And
You
again,
know
if anybody is welcome to play in our match. We're literally opening it up to anybody who wants to. We have friends that are going to be playing. My nieces and nephews at one point are going to battle it out in a Star Wars match.
Nice.
So we've got a bunch of the former MTS players who are coming on board with this too, and they're playing in a bunch of matches.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry.
Actually, did you guys talk about Toy Story so much? Pull it out. Challenge a Toy Story to anybody.
That has already been called.
Ooh.
Yes, we have a one Jeffrey the King Khan versus Chance Ellison in a Toy Story franchise.
Nice.
So we're actually filming that one in a couple of weeks. But Chris, anything else that you would like? Again, it doesn't necessarily need to be a franchise. It can also be a singular movie. If you think that you can beat me in Ghostbusters, challenge me to Ghostbusters, which nobody will.
You know what? We've talked about it. Anyone to take me on Paddington 1 and 2. That's like.
Ooh, okay.
I would also say the one I probably have won the most as well is Rocky. Anybody wants to challenge me in Rocky franchise? I'm down.
Or even like
Okay.
any like a singular like serious stuff, Disney. Like let's get some.
So we're taking any and all. DM me what
Yeah.
you guys would like to do. We absolutely, or myself or cousin Ryan, please follow us both on Twitter. We're putting together this show. It is a pre-taped format, so we're going to be taping and then editing, and then the matches will release a couple of weeks after we tape. So
Gotcha.
we're shooting
Nice.
to do weekends, especially if you choose to do drunk trivia, because obviously you will be consuming alcohol, and we don't want to do that even on a Tuesday. So we're going to be shooting for doing weekends, evenings, try to work around your guys' schedule. So please, if you are interested in playing, let us know. But also, please tune in to Benny and Moose Save America Trivia Hour. And also, please tune in to Beyond the Neon Veil with my good friend, cousin Ryan here, who, believe it or not, is my actual cousin. But
Yeah,
he's also a
nice.
cousin to everyone, I like to think.
Yeah.
Yes, and
He
you
opens up to
have
anyone.
if you have fun Vegas stories, and we would love to have
I've got
you
some
on this
Vegas
show as
stories.
well.
I've been there like 10 times. My brother used to live there, so we can
Jordan,
talk.
so Jordan, for sure, you're gonna be one of my first people on this. We're gonna
Yeah.
get this scheduled
Let's
out.
do it.
We're same format. We're gonna film it, record it, all that
Nice.
fun
Got
stuff.
some
So we'll do
crazy
that.
nights. Yeah.
So yeah, and anyone, like Moose said, anyone who wants to come on either of these shows, and hell, if you're in Vegas and you're watching this and you want to come do this live with me to do a show, let's do it under the neon
Ooh,
veil. So
We'll have to think about that because I'm actually planning a big trip to Vegas next fall. So we'll have to
we
maybe
might have
try
to do
and
two of them. We might
do
have to
some.
do two of them then.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because I'm hoping I'm on the wait list for When We Were Young festival. We'll see. Fingers crossed. I don't know, but
Also, early prediction. I think my brother might be on
A reoccurring guest.
Yeah, under the neon veil, possibly every other week. So,
and also have to DM you to challenge someone to a family movies match of great like PG movies and stuff because I could rock that.
oh,
So,
I'd be down.
Jordan, actually, I got a good one for you.
Yeah.
If you can find someone who will play you, I would love to put together a National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Ooh, yeah. Actually, that'd be fun because I'm doing National Lampoon trivia over on Malcolm Lay's channel for Full Metal Random too. Like I'm big on that. So yeah, I'll definitely do one of those for sure.
Okay, I'll find you a player.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Also,
Austin?
Richie, please get better soon. Take care, buddy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
man.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I've had it twice, dude. It sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only had it
Yeah.
once. So far.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
Austin?
Well, I'll extend an invitation to Moose for next year. The league that Chris and me and Richie and a bunch of other guys in this group are Movie Battleground. I think I piqued if you're ever into movie debates, you want to do like a movie debate thing. You know, like sort of like movie fights, like Screen Junkies used to do. We do Movie Battleground over on TMG Entertainment, and I could hook that up for you. I'm just saying, if you're intrigued, a
I think he's
competitor,
intrigued.
somebody you faced in the Schmodown, Amaru is one of our top competitors right now. So
I believe that.
He's in title contention right now. So
I
but
absolutely believe that.
we're doing we're in the middle of our end of the year tournament right now. So but they'll start fresh next year at some point, and yeah, maybe I'll see if you want to throw your hat in there. So
Sure.
yeah. So we'll see.
I'll probably lose to Amaru again.
Well,
I have a record of doing that. So.
I think if I win my next one, I'm in the semifinals. I might have to play him in the finals. We will see, because he's probably in the mix right now. So yeah, that's gonna be tough. He's really good. But yeah. So anyways, just throwing that out there. Tomorrow, as for right now, tomorrow night I'll be on Nerd Culture Channel with Ryan Permison. We're gonna do a 30th anniversary sort of watch along commentary to Aladdin and just talk about Aladdin.
Nice.
So anybody wants to just watch along with us on Disney Plus, and we're just going to be chit-chatting about Aladdin and how great that movie is. It'll be nice to do a watch along that doesn't involve drinking and with a good movie, as opposed to what I've done lately with Thanksgiving and things like that. So it'll be good to watch
a good movie once in a while.
a good movie, that I don't have to drink like a fish do.
The only Aladdin movie the only one.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll also be on Malcolm Lay's on Take 3 Productions on Sunday night, talking 2000s dramas on Rankum. So we'll be doing that and everything else we do here. So yeah.
And You can find everything for the channel as always on all the socials at Movie Hero 2121 on Twitter and Instagram. You can find the poll for this episode that'll show up in the Showdown Friends and Family group. Probably in the next 1 to 2 days, it'll show up over there. So if you want to give your thoughts on what we determine as the 8 best movie franchises of all time, you can voice your opinions there. And that's probably where we're the most active out of any of our social media. So we'll post a lot of updates and things that we have going on. And then also I'll use this opportunity to hype up our Patreon, because we do have a Patreon. If you go to patreon.com/moviehero, we do all kinds of exclusive episodes, exclusive content. We're doing some giveaways over there. There's some chances to create your own episodes of tournament fights or a tier ranker fights, where you can pick the entire panel. You can pick the topic, and we'll even like move some of our schedule around to accommodate you if you're willing to pay, because that one of the higher tiers. So we're willing to do that for that. But for some of the episodes, you can watch even at the lowest tier. And actually have one coming up this Monday. That'll be a fun one. We're going to be doing best wrestling intro theme song. So we're going to be on Patreon. So we're going to be able to play all the music. We can listen to it, and we can talk about all of our favorites. So that'll be a fun one. So I'm looking forward to that one. And then also too, I'm going to try to put one out tomorrow. I've been like super busy recently, but I've been doing my snack hero. So I haven't done one in a little bit, but I have a little promo up on our channel where I spread out all of the snacks that I have, and like it damn near I covered my entire counter in my kitchen. The amount of snacks that I have for this thing that I want to try. So I wanted to try to start getting through some of those. Hopefully I don't die or gain 20 pounds at least for eating all this junk food and stuff. I'm going to try to like everything in moderation. Like I have a little bit, and then I just give some away to whoever wants it. But yeah, so there's that. And then and then speaking of the trivia stuff too, so I'm going to be having a little trivia on the Patreon coming up. Also, if you would like to play, it'll be open to anyone. I haven't come up with an actual title yet, but it's going to be I came up with the whole format though. We're going to do it on Patreon, so anyone can play, but we have to be a Patreon member in order to watch it. But it's going to include clips from movies and also scores and soundtracks from movies, and there'll be a lot of trivia involving all of that stuff. So if you want to know more, you can just hit me up, or I'll be reaching out to people that I want to be a part of that as well. So that'll probably be starting in January sometime. But and then a little preview of what we have coming up for tournament fights and a tier ranker. So we actually have Richie's 128 part 1. That's coming up this Tuesday. So that's we doing that, as long as you're don't take any turns for the worse, Richie, with COVID, but I imagine you'll be fine. but then we also
I'll be
we
right.
have
I'll be right.
Nice. But for our Thanksgiving episode, we're going to be doing it Friday. We're going to be doing best movies with awkward family scenes or like awkward dinner situations. We're actually going to have Benny Hamlin, aka Brother Lynn, on the episode for that one, so that'll be fun to have him on there talking about some of those. And then we have some friends of the show doing some of their favorite movies episode. We got Brian Nussbaum doing his top 128 championship, so we already did 2 parts. He's on his championship. We have Richie's part 2 coming up sooner than later. They're only about a week or 2 apart. We have Jordan Owens championship coming up, and then we also have Ross Bristow's top 64. He hasn't submitted 64. We always want people to do a 64 first, and maybe like a year later we'll let you do a
Cousin Ryan, if you ever want to do a top 64, let us know, man. We'll do
if you want to do one.
Yeah, no, I'll totally let you know.
Yeah.
We'll do an entire episode. We'll just talk about all your favorite movies, So yeah, and then we also have best Christmas characters coming up. We have our best movies of 2017 series starting up soon. Then we also have a Spielberg versus Scorsese versus Tarantino three-way episode. We're gonna put all their movies into one big tournament. We're just gonna vote round by round, see which one comes out on top is the best of all those movies. So yeah, that's a little preview of what we have coming up. So, but thanks again, guys, for joining us for the episode. That was a lot of fun. So yeah, maybe in a year or two we'll do a redux and maybe see if it turns out the same or whatnot. But yeah, but I think that will do it for us tonight.
Or maybe we'll loosen it up and do some of the ones that have like straight to video shit, or like have some.
Yeah, we could do that.
Like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, we have
or we could even do, Jordan. We could do a 64 of some of because we originally had a list of like 180 or 190. We could do the 64 that got excluded. We could do
we could do that too.
We could do the reject franchises like Air Bud, like Free Willy. Like, hey, I think it'd be fun. I think
Air Bud is cinematic gold.
Disney direct-to-video franchise.
I mean, I'm just saying the ones that we excluded for little nitpicky reasons, we could throw into like a reject 64 franchises, like
Aladdin, Little Mermaid, Lion King, Cinderella.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Well, we had a little powwow after one of our streams one night, and we're like, what? We'd hash it out to narrow it down to 128, and we're like, is anyone really watching Beethoven like that? Like, no, X that one off. All the ones we had to X off.
All the ones that only had like 2 theatrical movies or something that didn't have 3. Like I'm just saying, we could do a reject one of 64 of the other ones that weren't included in this one. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, sometimes
it'd be fun. Yeah,
it's fun to talk about some bad or mediocre movies sometimes.
Well, can I tell you, Moose? I watched that for our tier ranker football episode, and I only watched it to see if somebody tackled the dog.
Right.
And spoiler alert, they do.
Yeah,
they do.
At one point, and it's like the last 10 minutes of the movie, one of them tackles him, and it's like a whole thing of, oh my god, is he injured? And I'm like, he's a fucking player. What are you gonna do? He's gonna tackle him.
Yeah, right. Air Bud golden receiver. But
it was better than MVP, most valuable primate.
Oh man, yeah.
I mean, hell, like get on call and defend Cinderella Fee. I think the best Disney direct-to-video.
But yeah, I think that'll do it for us tonight. So thanks, guys, and for Chris, for cousin Ryan, for Richie, for Moose, for Austin. I've been Jordan, the movie hero Anderson, and we will see you next time.